What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to CKQ Podcast. I'm your host, Clemens. And before I introduce the lovely panelist, John, you want to do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button to the channel for more content like this. Once a week, I go live. Right now, we're fluctuating between from Wednesday to Tuesday because of little career style choices. But that's enough of that. I will introduce the panelists.
I'm Black Wall Street Trading LLC, aka John. You can find me on YouTube at Black Wall Street Trading LLC. We can learn how to trade options and stocks. Also, you can find me on Instagram at johncornelius.8770.
Love it. Awesome. So, since we're waiting for practically the rest of the panel to get here, I actually want to get your thoughts on this because today's topic is on frenemies, friends, enemies, frenemies, and relationships in general. And you're someone that I would definitely consider a friend. And since I consider you a friend, this would be a good person to talk about with. The topic of friendship and how we typically feel about it, and well, what do we actually say about it to our friends? So, thanks, Chris.
What's up, Chris?
Okay, so first question. Does toxicity need to exist for friends to grow apart? Does toxicity need to exist for friends to grow apart?
I mean, when you say toxicity, yeah,
that word.
Yeah, I swear it was supposed to be toxicity, but we ain't gonna talk about how you spelled it. But anyway,
is that the way? That's the right way.
Nah.
All right. Well, that's not my grammar. My grammar is not what we're working on right now, right? It's not what the panel's about, John.
But anyway, see, toxicity would refer in levels. You understand? And it depends on who you're dealing with. Like with me, if I'm with you, I'm with you. I'm down with you like 4 flat tires. But if you cross me, we're not going to get to a level of toxicity. I'm out.
But okay, so what would you classify as someone crossing you?
When you get to that long handle teaspoon.
Okay.
When you get to, like, for instance, bringing my sharing something that I shared exclusively with you with somebody else.
Okay. That's
trying to embarrass me. I mean, it's certain behaviors that I don't expect friends to engage in. And if you engage in one of the behaviors, you get the long handle teaspoon.
Now, how can I say this? Should they know this?
Could they know this or do they know this?
Should they know this?
I'm going to come to them and tell them. I'm all the way live. Like, if I'm your friend, I'm going to tell you, hey, look, this pissed me off. Now, if you want to not own it, if you want to deflect and minimize and expect and think that I should have been more understanding, then you don't know me that well.
Do you believe friends grow apart?
Yeah, they can. You got different variables that causes friendship to grow apart. Whereas, like, they're not kicking it as much, but real friends, nah. Because I've got some real solid friends I haven't talked to in years. But if I call them and I need them, they there. Like, you shouldn't have to be right up under your friend's butt, because there's a thin line between a friend and a comfort item. See, when you feel like you start to need this person, like, that's more of a coping mechanism. That's not really a friend. Yeah. That's like you're coping. That's why when someone calls you your friend, there needs to be a mutual understanding, mutual respect there. and you don't want something. You don't want to be in a situation to where you're codependent with this person. So like if you don't talk to this person, you can't function, or you feel less about yourself, or you feel greater about yourself. It works, it's two sides to that coin. If you feel like this person is like a coping mechanism to you, then you ain't really friends. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all are that's more like what I call a comfort item, even though it's a person and it's an animate object.
Is unhealthy. Aside from the codependency aspect of it, is it unhealthy to want to depend on someone like that?
Absolutely is unhealthy. Your esteem is esteem of yourself. It's yours. It means you have to fix that.
Mm.
Nobody else can fix that. Now, you talk about a therapeutic relationship, that's different. And if that's a licensed therapist, then y'all can't be friends. that's a whole nother discussion.
That's a whole
And if there's anybody out there that's listening that's licensed, they'll know what I'm talking about. It's called multiple relations, which is an ethical violation.
That's for you, Maddie. You're not ready for that yet. That's a little above your pay grade. All right, we'll talk to you about it later. Okay.
Trying to get her stirred up, boy. You better leave Madison alone.
Sure. All right. The big men are talking.
Well, you really trying to get her going. When you post that link, she's gonna come on here just to tell you what a piece of her mind.
We'll see.
I'm just gonna step back and she's gonna let you have it. I'm telling you.
What would you find do you think toxic relationships exist? Well, like
Toxic
friendships.
friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. You see them between men and women. Yeah, you see them between men and women. You got dudes who are real ugly and they hang out with guys who are handsome and good looking. That women are attractive and they live through them. This is my homeboy right here. This is my homeboy right here. yeah, you know what it is. You know how we do. You know how we get down. You know what it is. Like, bruh, shut up. Looking like a butt monkey. Get out of here. Your dude will be fine by himself, and here you go.
Yeah.
Everything is us and we and yeah. You remember the cartoon?
Well, it doesn't technically always need to be bad then.
It's not necessarily bad. Depends on how you look at it. Like if I'm the handsome guy in the thing and I got this butt monkey hanging out with me and he always using words like us and we and get me in trouble, I'm finna cut ties with him because that's bad for me. Another toxic one would be when you got a big dude. I've been a victim of this because I've always been the bigger, stronger guy with us and the more violent one. You get somebody who weak, who won't bust a grape in a fruit fight, always want to start some shit with somebody else, but can't fight. Like, cannot fight. Get loud. Just, you know what I'm saying? You don't want no problem with us. I'm like, wait
that guy, yeah.
The first
guy with the shirt, guy with the shirt off, and he's ready to fight, but then someone steps up and he's like, like
he is literally looking for me to crack this dude from the blind side so he can get the early jump, which, I ain't really with all that blindsidedness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really with that. So yeah.
What is Maddie? Isn't Maddie still in like her freshman year or something like that? Like,
no,
doesn't really understand psychology too much, right?
Yeah, she. Well, you are really, bro.
Chris has a question for you. Chris has a question for you. What kind of monkey is this guy?
A butt monkey.
A butt monkey.
It's butt monkey, bro.
Yeah, because I was thinking about this earlier today. Because obviously, as we all get older, you're gonna grow apart from your friends. But then,
but you're gonna keep some real close to you.
Some you keep, and then some you grow apart from. I guess does that come with maturity? Because that's why I asked that question. Because just because you're growing apart from them, does that mean that there was some level of toxicity in that relationship towards your life?
No, it just means that you're maturing, and you It's not like you don't value friendship. It's just this phase in your life. These are things that you have to accomplish on your own. Like you have to find your way. You can't cater your you can't cater your life choices around your friends. See, when you're younger and you're going through puberty and specifically 12 to 13 years old, and where your pecking order is, that's when you see, you know, especially young men, they don't really want to leave and explore. They want to stick around their their comfort zone where they are, especially if they have a name for themselves.
Hmm.
Because identity is what you're trying to establish. So let's hypothetically, so let's say you're in high school or you're about to go to the high school and yeah, you're 13, you're about to go to the high school and you're a starter and you know that the coaches up there have been talking about you and but your dad is in the military and he's coming up on orders and you have an option to stay there with your grandmother or go with your dad. Chances are that that particular child will want to stay with their grandmother because who he is in this world is more important than him having this close connection with his dad. And he'll see his dad in the summer. He'll be cool with that. Why? Because he, let's say he loves football. He's a starter. The girls are looking at him a certain kind of way. He's high in the pecking order. He's established himself. That's extremely horrifying and terrible for him to have to go do this all again. But now,
Hmm.
then you can argue that perhaps his self esteem is not as high because if he had a real high self esteem, then it wouldn't matter because he feel like he could do the same thing anyway. Well, you can argue that and say the guy, well, only a narcissist would think like that because you go into a bigger area, bigger schools, bigger fish, and you may not, you know, most kids, most young men are not going to take that chance. They're going to go for what they know where they are. That's why a lot of times when you see reunions, the boys is not like they don't want to live with their dad. It's more or less they don't want to leave there where they are, and they try to get the moms who try to get them to live with their dads around that age, and the dad's not living in the same city, and they have to change schools. It's a big deal.
Yeah,
It's
because it's like a
not in their
whole
best interest. Yeah,
the paradigm shift. No, no, it wouldn't even be a paradigm shift. It's not a paradigm shift.
it
It's,
could be.
I mean, it could be. I mean,
It could be but see, the fear of that shift is what's scary. The fear of that is scary. Like, will I be liked? Where will I fit in? Like, a man always wants to know where he fits in.
yeah.
You not notice that? Like, as you were growing up, like when you go out, where do you fit in? Like,
Hmm.
where am I fit in? Like, am I in the top 20 men in this room? We're always in competition. You know what I mean? People's opinions, and that's why this trash that's going on nowadays that goes so far away from evolution and nature is just trash. That's all it is. It's just garbage because you have a natural way, a natural inclination about you. How you were born with it. And there's certain things that you are going to do. And comparing up, making an upward and downward comparison is something that a lot of men are going to do. Women do it too,
You're
but
talking about at the basic level, at the basic carnal level. That's what
at
you're
the
talking about.
basic cardinal level,
Yeah.
right
Okay.
there, you're going to make an upward and a downward comparison. You're going to compare yourself financially, physically, meaning your what you look like, your strength, your certain attributes that you have to your group, to the cohorts around you. So you'll make an upward comparison. Oh man, I'm not as popular as that guy. Then you make a down comparison, but I'm more popular than that guy. You make another upward comparison. Well, I'm not as handsome as him, but I look better than all of them. So I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. You do it all the time.
That's
I'm
true. I
pretty
mean,
sure
that's
when
fair.
you go in the club, you'll look around. You if you go into the club and you got your hunt on, you're gonna look around and see what the competition is, and then you're gonna say, "Well, yeah, I mean, I ain't the most handsome guy here, but I look better than a majority of them. So tonight should be good. Tonight should be good. Yeah, tonight should be
Yeah,
good."
that's true. That's true. As men on the hunt, that is the mindset.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what we hunt. We hunt. A lot society wants to view us as something that we're not. We are hunters. We hunt. And even after you say I do, the hunting, the need to hunt, the desire is still there.
I guess that's what makes I
That's
guess
why
that's what
polygamy is
makes
starting to be a
relationships hard.
thing.
Yeah.
That's why polygamy is starting to be a thing because you still want to hunt. Like there's
But
an
I mean,
internal desire to hunt.
in this day and age, I mean, aside from the hunting aspect of it, like most women still want other men. I would say, unless the guy that they're with is respectable enough.
If that guy is a provider and she feels secure, she ain't gonna look at other men like that.
Yeah,
Just don't.
if but
That that
we're-
goes back into how we say when a woman cheats. With her is premeditated murder, and with a guy is it's
manslaughter.
manslaughter
Yeah,
because
it just happened.
it really literally just happened. With her, she put some thought into it. She disconnected emotionally. A lot goes on. So if you're doing what she expected you to do as being a provider, being a friend, and making her feel secure, you're good. That whole her seeing a man, she might lust after him. She might even get turned on by him. But most women will snap out of it if he makes a move or gets fresh with her. She'll snap right out of it. Like, wait, hold on, I don't know you like that. You look good and everything, but I ain't
That's
with
about
it. That's about it.
it. Yeah, and that's why for men it's kind of like you
Yeah,
have to.
man.
Yeah,
She better not pay you no attention. Mess around and be pregnant.
damn.
Like, what she want to talk to me? For me, for real, she do. Ain't you married? Hey, you let me be the judge of this. Damn it! I'll let you know if I'm married in the next 5 minutes. I'm gonna get cussed out tomorrow.
I have no part of this, all right, Miss Black Wall Street. If you're watching, I
Yes,
didn't put him
he
up
did.
to this.
Yes, he did. He pre-wrote the questions and the responses. I am not respond. I'm responding under duress of threat and
No.
coercion.
Chris said, unless she sabotages herself, she has to receive what you provide. A man can be a provider, but when he tries to provide, she rejects it.
Hmm.
A man can be a provider, but when he tries to provide, she rejects it.
You got Chris is talking about a specific woman too, like the woman who makes the man feel like he's not useful. Is that right, Chris?
Well, obviously, you're gonna have to probably wait. I'm gonna assume so. I'm gonna assume that's what she meant.
I think she's talking about like the woman who probably makes a good income, got a real good job, and she is because those are the ones that normally will like, I don't need you to do that. I don't need you to do that. I got it. I don't that's okay.
But do you think that I was actually all right? So recently, I was having a conversation with someone about this, and she was saying how we're having the same kind of conversation about how there's a group of women that are all saying go after him, get the bag, da da da, and a whole bunch of men that are saying, all right, increase your value, become the best you can, and then pick from your best options. Cheat if you want to, da da da. And I was saying to her like, but I think that's a minority of people though. I really don't think that's it. I think a majority of people actually just want to have like a regular relationship.
Who?
Obviously, I think a majority of people want to actually have. I think there's a silent majority that actually want to have a just regular, decent relationship, one man, one woman, and they want to actually chart a new life. But what's happening right now is the worst parts of people are portrayed on social media right now. And that's really, I think that's what's screwing everything up. The worst, because social media exacerbates like the worst of us. Like no one
Absolutely
wants to see normal. No one wants to see a normal life. Why? It's boring.
no.
A normal, happy life is boring. They want to
Exactly.
see the worst, like the salacious stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
So
there's several private agendas being pushed, and if you're not a part of that, then you're going to get shot down because they are trying to normalize so many different things. So you can't normalize that. And I mean, if you do, you know what the definition of family is? What is a family defined as? Like legally, like what is it defined as?
um, a man, a woman, kids,
Oh, absolutely
dog,
not.
white people, friends, dog named Lassie.
Nah, two people and children. is pretty much is accepted. Two people. It doesn't have to be a man and a woman. So if you are showing, and I'm making a point to this. So if you're showing pictures of men and women
Mm-hmm.
and kids, then people are gonna cue that to family. Oh, look, family, 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 family. But look at what social media sites are doing. If you say the wrong thing, if you do the wrong thing, they will block your account. They'll shut it down. They'll remove the post. All of that feeds into a specific agenda to be pushed. So if you don't get to see those pictures, it's not that they're boring. Is that people just that's not what they want to see. They want to see what makes them feel like what they got going on is important and real. So I'm gonna choose not to pay any attention to that stuff.
A nuclear
And
family is a man, woman, and kids.
absolutely it is. But if you're a professor or somebody in a public office and you say that, you're gonna come under fire.
Yeah, because
You know that.
You said man and woman. Like,
Yeah.
you can't say those words. That's offensive.
Yeah, it's offensive. That's offensive. But if I get on here and say how sexy you are and I'm undercover in love with you, everybody be like, "Oh my God, I saw the best podcast. Black Wall Street came out on Clement's show and he said he in love with Clement. Oh my God."
Listen, I can't blame you. I can't blame you, honestly.
Nigga, you ain't that cute.
Fired immediately.
Fired immediately.
Fired immediately.
Shots fired. Ernest.
Shots fired, Ernest. Shots fired, Ernest. Hold on. What were we just talking about?
About how social media doesn't want to see normalcy. They want to see stuff that's just out there.
Honestly, realistically, like for a guy, like let's just say for a guy making a profile pic for even for a dating app.
Mm-hmm.
A dating app, if you put like regular normal stuff, that's not gonna work. What you gotta kind of put is like you're an exciting person. Even if you're a homebody, you gotta show an exciting lifestyle.
Right, because
same thing that goes on to like social media. They want to see the extremes of either side. They don't want to see the middle. They want to see if either you're extremely happy or you're extremely miserable. And that's what catches eyes. Like someone buying their wife a $300,000 car. Everyone will be like, "Oh my God, that's amazing!" Blah 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 blah. Or like a wife torching her husband's car on fire. Mm-hmm. Like those are the things that'll catch. Not like the couple that went to a store and said, "Hey, can we budget this out? Can we make it work?" Yeah, we can make it work. He's been good today, or he's been good in school. Let's get him a car. Let's get him a nice, used Honda Civic with decent mileage.
Social media would be like that, But in today's genre of filled with emotions, you kind of look at people make the social comparison theory is completely in effect. Like I was looking at some research because I'm going to actually use the effects of social media. It's the article on adolescence. It affects adolescents differently between, but that was the premise of the article. But I'm going to get deep into it when I write my research. But it talks about the false delusion that social media surfing causes on people, and it affects them. It causes depression, anxiety, and a lot of other things by being on social media for extended periods. So yeah, think about it. If your ideal self is to be a six-figure earner, but you really don't have a plan as to how you're going to accomplish that, and all you were looking at were posts from people who obviously earn six figures or better, how would that make you feel? Like that's your ideal. That's me right there. That's me. That's how I feel. You know, I wish that's me. And you don't have a plan as to how to get there. What's up,
Yeah.
Japrice? How you gonna get there? So you don't have a way to get there. So
You
then
got a
what you
fan.
gonna do? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Japrice is the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I
you
mean,
don't know how you're gonna get there. How you think that's gonna make you feel? That immediately creates incongruency between yourself and your ideal self and your actual self. And that's when you get neurotic expression.
mm,
Different behaviors start to come out. You either start lying or you start um, you start feeling anxious or depressed.
all right. I always knew depression and anxiety could come from it. So yeah, it makes sense. Especially when they added the idea of likes too.
Yeah,
So
likes
now,
those are reinforcers. So like nobody is like, so you see this guy. I'm just gonna use one person. One particular person, maybe you know them. And see, when you know the person, it makes it worse. Like you know the person is in your cohort. Because see, for the social comparison theory, then you're comparing yourself to someone, you're making a comparison to someone in similarity, right? So maybe this person is an engineer and you guys graduated high school about the same time. So there you guys share the same cohort, right?
hmm
You start wondering like, what did he do that I didn't do?
yeah,
Why couldn't I have done this? See, that makes you aware that you're not as good as that person. Remember what I said way back when we used the example with 13-year-old and they know where their pecking order is and you
oh
know
yeah, yeah,
where you rank. It's a big deal with young men, especially.
especially
Okay,
yeah.
so you know where you rank at this point. You're less than this person. So now, what if you? How long does it take before you? So you let's say you try to make a downward comparison. Well, I'm better off than this person, but everybody likes this person. Every time they post something, they get 300 and 400 likes. And you post something, you get 2 likes
At best,
at best.
yeah.
So, the are the likes defining you as a person? Surely no one will allow likes to define who they are as a person. You'll lie. With
Yeah,
all the mitigating circumstances around you, you don't know
world.
what it's going to look like. Yeah. But in all reality, you probably posted something a year ago and everybody remembers what you posted that went against what everybody's favorite is.
Ooh, this
And
is a
no
good
one
question.
is going to like your posts.
This is a good question. Japriest posted. Does this only apply to men or women too, as far as ranking?
I think it applies to women more so than men
Yeah,
because men really don't like
we
a
only rank
man
each other
has
by
a
our accomplishments.
yeah. Plus, there's other ways we can rank. There's other things that we can look at a pic. Like, let's say this dude has got money, but then we can also make that comparison and say, but I know what he ain't got. Ha! Facts. Or I know I can do this. Facts. Even if it's a lie, you can make that lie up in your head and be okay. But I think
But
if
you
we
know what?
look
I
at it, I
also
think
think it's
women are
different.
affected by it more.
I think I'll piggyback off of that a little bit, but I think what men do is we give each other respect a little easier.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like if this person is kind of towards something, like and we see that he's made it, like wow, you made yourself a millionaire, even though you don't have this that I have. You've made yourself a millionaire. That's still props. That's still respect. You'll still clown on them, but you'll still respect them in the fact that I've seen what you did. I've seen what you've accomplished. I've seen what you've pushed yourself to do, and you can have that. Whereas I don't think women have that so much. I think they're women compete with each other a lot more micro, like with a lot more microaggressions
Mm-hmm.
than with actual, like, guys, we're straightforward. Like, if we don't like you, we don't like you. That's it. But with women, it's a lot more microaggressions. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. And
I
if
think
you
that's what Danielle.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the panel.
How y'all doing?
hey Danielle,
Hey.
how you doing?
Good.
So we just posted actually Japrice just asked a question to the panel. As far as ranking, when we're talking ranking people, ranking ourselves and ranking how we compare to others. She was asking, does this only apply to men or women too, as far as ranking? Do women rank each other?
I don't rank anybody.
Oh man, hey, okay, that's what I was doing. I was looking it up, and I know you can hear me. It says women are affected at a higher degree than men, especially and are more receptive to the information provided by social media. Specifically, women reported the social media content, such as reviews and ratings, often affect their activity planning decisions. So yeah, it affects them a little bit more than well, a lot at a greater. And I figured it did because if you remember some of the previous panels that we had women that was swearing to us, and we are all the men are telling them, nigga, we don't care about no IG model. I promise you, we don't. Yeah, you do. This
Yeah.
woman got 1 million likes. Like, I don't give a damn if she had 8
The,
million
li-
likes.
the likes doesn't
She
mean
is
anything.
a specific kind of girl. She a blowjob and a good time, and that's it. I'm not going and spending no damn bunch of money. I'm gonna try to get her for the cheapest possible, and I don't see no future with this woman. Who I don't want this woman with my last name on here getting 5 million likes, showing all her. That's mine. You understand? I have to protect that. I have to
Yeah.
account for that. You ain't finna be showing that to every Negro that say hey and hit a like button. You crazy? No, I don't want no parts of that. I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
good. I need you to cover that up.
Let's tackle this question real quick, and then we'll ask Danielle the question for the panel. Women definitely do it, but it's not healthy. I think men have evolved to rank each other in order to be productive. I don't think that makes sense. Yeah, you're right, actually. Because for men, it's like we're very quick to, like, we could pick the best person out of a group of men. It's like, okay, he's the elected leader. And everyone kind of like, all right, we're all okay following this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it really is like that simple.
Wow.
Yeah, because we were like, all right, like he has the best sense of direction. It doesn't mean he's better than anyone, but he has the best sense of direction. So he's going to lead.
And if I'm in a group, I typically just do it. I just step right on up, and this is what we're gonna do. Blah blah blah. And if I get challenged, like you got a better idea, uh,
Yeah, that's
well,
it. If you're going to come
no,
up with an
not
idea,
really. Yeah, when I go to get
yeah,
you to like planning, oh well, no, I'm gonna bring them. I'm gonna challenge them. If you challenge me, I'm gonna challenge your insecurities. You got any better ideas? Well, I was just asking. Okay, all right.
all right, Danielle, does toxicity need to exist for friends to grow apart?
Does toxicity need to exist for a friend to grow apart? Women is crazy. They don't need nothing to grow apart. Um,
Really?
No, don't. I
yeah.
swear to God, boy. She mess around and say, "Girl, that heifer had the nerve, boo, to say I look fat. Who should she talk about with her fat ass?"
I think I don't know if even okay. So when I was at work today, I just helped a friend keep her friend. People look at me and they want what I think. Like I don't know what is on my face or around me, but people always asking what I think. I had never met this girl before, and she was just asking me about her friend, and I explained it to her so that she could understand, and she started crying. She was like, "I'm gonna go and call her." So I don't.
Wait, what?
It wasn't even anything toxic. It was just in her mind, and she just didn't have a better way to view it. So
Interesting.
I don't think
So,
toxicity needs to exist.
so, oh, so it doesn't need to exist for friends to grow apart. You think they're just gonna naturally grow apart if they're gonna grow apart?
I think you can grow apart from your friend just because you don't have the right frame of mind. It's not necessarily toxic. You just don't know what to think. You can just be misjudging your friend and thinking more about your own feelings, which is what was happening today. She knew her friend exactly. Ooh. So when we were talking about it, I was like, okay, well, maybe it's this. She's like, no, she not like that. Well, maybe it was this. No, she not like that. Okay. So then we just had to break the whole situation down. And I was like, okay, so maybe you just need to accept your friend for who she is and not think so hard and try to make it like, you know, she's not understanding. You're probably just not understanding. You just, you know, just relax. You need to set some boundaries.
She made a good point then. That was like a really good point.
Because that's gonna segue straight into our next question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was good. Bravo. That
was good, man. Sound effects.
I'm glad she came on here and she answered the question similar to the way I answered the question.
Yeah, I was ready for it.
Hearing me.
Actually, no, you guys are both.
We think alike, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say I figured you guys would actually get along with this one. But on to the next question. Is judgment and expectations warranted in friendships? Judgment and expectations warranted in friendships?
Nah.
So should you hold your friends to any kind of standard?
Standards, yes.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that be expectations as well?
This is like we'll clarify this one because we both saying the same thing on this. Because like if I'm fucking with you, the judgment we already got past that. Because the judgment existed when I really didn't. You were just an acquaintance.
True.
I was judging you hard then. Like before I let you.
Aren't all our actions judged?
Hell no, not once you my friend. No.
Right.
I accept certain things that you do because that's who you are. Okay. And I'll defend that shit. Friendship is different. It's just like your old lady, bro. Like ain't no women perfect. But when you make her your old lady, you judge that. Like, that's her thing. That's what the fuck she do, and she can do it. Nigga, you got a problem with it, see me. You know what I'm saying? That's her thing. And it don't bother me. You feel me? This is one of those things that's a part of her 20% that I can handle. Because she 80% of what I want, and it's 20% that I don't care. It ain't what I like, but I can deal with it. So, yeah, you're going to have, like, there's no perfect people. So I ain't gonna sit up and you gonna be, I fuck with you. Like you my homeboy, like I fuck with you. I know this nigga got a big mouth. That's who he is. You feel me? But he probably got a whole bunch of other qualities that I like about him. And that's why we cool. Like and that shit that there's supposed to be passes that you give friends. You feel me? Like if you my friend, I'm gonna be overreactive sometimes. You gonna call me, I'm gonna be triggered. You feel me? And you good because you sit up and you just let me get through the triggering phase. And then you ask me, John, what got you triggered today?
Yeah.
And then I tell you, but that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you're supposed to talk with me until I get that pass. But you can't be like soft. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be no poop I do because like I might be yelling and you feel like it's coming off at you. No, I ain't yelling at you, nigga. I'm just venting loud. That's all. Yeah. I'll calm back down eventually.
Danielle.
I feel like John is my best friend.
Let me hear your thoughts, though. Let me hear your thoughts.
Ditto. Those. I definitely overreact. I'm super blunt. I'm naturally loud. I tell my friends, okay, so if you're gonna be my friend,
can't be sensitive.
You cannot be sensitive, and you have to trust me. You have to trust our friendship. And if you can do those things, then we'll be good because I'm never coming from a place of malice. But if you're doing something, I'm gonna definitely say something if you asking. And if you just want to vent, then let me know that. Don't come to me asking me my opinion. Don't do that. Because then you're gonna get it. And you might not like it.
So judgment is off the table, but expectations, you shouldn't have expectations from
I
friends?
expect my friends to be who they are.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't expect them to be like anything, but like who they are. If you my friend, then I've already seen who you are, and I accept that. And I don't
Right.
expect you to be anything different.
Right. Like I done had homeboys who I knew wouldn't bust a grape. So I don't put them in a position where they might have to bust a grape. You
Right.
feel me? Like I know the nigga saw. He a talker. Like he might talk a good game, but I done been with him hard enough to know that this nigga ain't finna bust a grape in a fruit fight. So we not going over here because these niggas gonna fuck with him. He got a bad temper, but he still don't like to fight and he can't fight. So I ain't gonna take him around it.
I've never heard that before. Bust a grape. Bust a grape in the fruit fight. You know, Danielle, you actually said something that I wanna circle around a little bit. It's a little off topic, but I want to ask you because you're someone that's living a very like.
Who is that? Whose ringtone is that?
Well, I mean, it's not mine.
No, it's his phone. I'm saying whose ringtone is that though? Is that for everybody who called or is that somebody specific?
I think that's everyone.
John?
Nah, it's mine.
No, I'm
No,
saying
is it
that's
your
everybody's
basic?
ringtone. When your phone ring, that's just
Yeah,
what
like
everybody.
Oh, all
What
right.
was your question? You said I'm
You're
living what?
You're someone that I would say is like you're living that life that like a lot of women would actually want, right? And I hear all the things about like feminine submissive, you know, like all of that stuff, all those. And if someone was to see you on a panel, sometimes they would say that you're not it because you're loud.
I didn't know I was feminine until I was on one of these panels, and it's like, "You're so feminine." I was like, "I am." I was geek because I've never heard that to describe me.
No, I mean like you're loud, of course, but you speak strongly on the things that you know. That's why sometimes I see that you don't really speak sometimes because it's like I'm not going to speak on it because I don't know it, which makes sense. But the things that you do know, you're going to speak very strongly and passionately about. Actually, I on Knowledge and Relationship, shout out to them. I actually saw a lady on there, Dom. I think you were on there with her once, Queen Dom. Yeah, she was very loud, very expressive. And everyone kept saying, "Oh, you're hella masculine." Da da da. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't. She didn't come off as masculine. She definitely came off as aggressive. Like aggressive. I wouldn't even want to say aggressive. Just like, I'm not gonna cap.
Yeah, it was aggressive.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cap. She was aggressive. It was aggressive, but I still didn't see her as like not feminine because of that. You know, what's your thought on that?
No, she wasn't feminine. It's not a bad thing. She wasn't trying to be feminine. She was just being herself.
Yeah.
She was saying how she felt. Okay, so like Chris was saying like femininity and masculinity is not, it's like not what you do, but how you do it. And I appreciate hearing that because I didn't really know how to put those things together. So I was listening to her. And yeah, looking at her, she was saying that Chris says masculine is when you do things to get it done. You know, it's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
And so I guess looking at her, I would have considered it masculine because she wasn't enjoying it. She was doing it to get it done. She was trying to get her point across. She was just very about it, like, no.
Yeah.
That's more passionate.
So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not good about femininity and masculinity. I just know she was aggressive.
Aggressive,
but she didn't seem feminine at all.
I think aggressive. Typically, aggression is associated with as a masculine trait, but it depends on how it's being used.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for instance, Miss Black Wall Street was aggressive in getting this price cut. Like, and she wasn't raising her voice. She just wouldn't let. She was fucking relentless. She just wouldn't. And eventually, dude just tapped the fuck out and was like, "Okay, all right." I was like, and she called me. She said, I got him. I got him. I got the price I wanted. I saved 32,000 pesos. I was like, damn, girl, that's a lot. And she was like, damn right, that's a lot. So
Shout
she
out
was
to her.
aggressive, and she like, she feminine, but she feminine. Like she feminine. She stay in her femininity for the most part, especially when I'm dealing with her. But that particular time, she asked my advice on something, and I said, nah, I ain't gonna get you out of this one. We'll see what you got. You do it. And she was like, all right. And she just kept pondering over it. She did not like that price. I told her the price was decent. She didn't give a fuck about that. She didn't like the price. So she worked on it, and she kept arguing with dude back and forth. And then she pulled some strings and got her friends involved. The next thing you know, he cut that damn price. Well, he saw where he could lose a lot of business.
Okay. Can we call a spade a spade? Stop beating around the bush.
What bush do you beat around?
Is
I
being
think about
aggressive and masculine.
it depends. Most of the time, yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Like, because if someone,
For instance, that video that was
hold on.
that's
If a young
aggressive.
kid is, if a
That's
young kid
masculine.
is lashing out, because he didn't get his way in an aggressive manner, it's not masculine.
No,
If anything, that's actually very feminine
that's very
because
feminine.
he's all in his emotions.
It's emotion, yeah. But
Versus,
aggression is an emotion.
yeah. So it's like it's all in the way it's used. You can't exactly say, oh, aggression itself is a masculine thing. It's how it's portrayed.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to roll with, Ja Priest. It just depends on how you use it. Is it a trait? It's a masculine trait.
That's masculine. Competition is masculine.
Yeah.
Competition. That's competition as a whole.
It's not a bad thing necessarily. Words have to be masculine sometimes, and it's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I don't know. I do think she was aggressive. I did not think she was feminine in that moment.
Now, like if a woman get up in a man's face, that's aggressive. And that's masculine. Like that video that was surfing around the web that went viral, that woman was masculine. She
Which
even
one?
told her, the one who jumped up and husband got knocked out by that black dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was very masculine.
I think we watched that here, didn't we? Did we watch that here?
Yeah. That was very masculine, right? And it was that kind of aggression, and that was very masculine. And she even told her husband to shut up. You know what I mean? So like she is masculine. And he is very passive. Woo.
Yeah. Extremely.
I might be masculine in that sense then.
Well, I mean, women have the ability to be masculine at times. Just like men can be feminine at times.
My husband is the passive type. He's not trying to argue about anything. We don't argue. When I tell people we don't argue, they think I'm lying, but we do not argue. Thank you. It forced me to learn how to communicate better with him because he's not gonna argue.
What do you mean he doesn't argue? Like, he just walk away?
I mean, he don't argue. He's not gonna argue. It's not even a way to explain, but he's not. If he don't like something, he just don't like it. If I bring up something, he gonna let me say what I gotta say, and that's gonna be all. He'll come back later if he need to speak on it and speak on it. And if he don't, the only way to get brought back up is if I have something to say about it. He internalized.
Well, I guess that's good to have. I bet he got a temper on him though.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't do nothing to press
his
buttons to get him upset. I don't be trying to press nobody's button. Like that's not. I don't like my buttons pressed. So I don't be trying to press nobody's buttons. So I wouldn't know. But he do say that, like, I don't want to get mad because if I get mad, it's like shut off button.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, because he remind me of me. Like, it take a lot to like really get me mad. But when I get mad, you got a lot to deal with because I'm not very forgiving once I get mad. Not with a female. like with a dude. With a female, I'll get mad like that, and then I'll just like either walk off, and it would be best.
Because
Because
with
it
a
makes
guy,
my
they had to get
day
you to
better.
that certain headspace.
Yeah,
Like
but
they
when
had
I
to,
get there, boy, I'm ready,
yeah, yeah. Because
and
I had to say,
everything you ask for, I'm gonna give it to you.
they got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing because it's kind of
Right.
like, yo, like,
And I'm
yeah.
the opposite. You don't got to push me. I stay ready.
I mean, there's certain things that make me jump past all that, but typically, when I have enough, I done had enough, and I done internalized all of it, and now I'm about to just blow.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Do you judge your friends?
Do I judge my friends?
Yes, Clement.
I was recently talking to someone, and it dawned on me that I was extremely judgmental.
You
Wow.
don't say.
I'm a judgmental prick. Like, yeah, no, for sure. Um, and it was actually like one of the best people to be talking to because she didn't give a shit what I thought. And I later told her, like, at some point, I'm like, damn, like, like you are a good person to be talking to just because I judged a lot of her and she didn't really give a shit. But we both enjoy each other's time. And eventually it was kind of like all the judging I was doing and her just still sticking around just made me like kept reflecting on myself a lot more. And I was just thinking like why? Why are you being this way towards someone that's done really nothing bad towards you?
What was
And
your
but
answer?
that it really what's that?
What was your answer?
What do you mean?
You asked yourself a question.
Oh, what like why am I being this way?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't have an answer.
Mm.
Well, my answer kind of like it helped me kind of stem back to my childhood and why I started being a little bit more that way. Um, but that was not an answer. That's not an answer. That's just
Mm.
a response to how I
No,
grew
I
up.
know why. I know why you so judgmental.
I mean, maybe.
Nah, I know why.
Why?
In this style of childhood, because he didn't negotiate trust versus mistrust.
Huh?
He negotiated that phase in his life on the side of mistrust, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Wait, hold on. Say that again.
I'm not saying no more.
Well, I guess I'll watch the replay.
Trust versus mistrust.
When do you do that?
Between the ages of 0 and 6 years old.
0 and 6
So you
years
either
old.
0
learn
and 3.
to trust or you learn to
0 and 3.
mistrust.
No, it's according to Erickson, it is a phase of development where a child has to trust their caregiver. So you're either gonna trust that your caregiver is always gonna be there, or you're gonna develop mistrust because your caregiver was not around when you needed them.
Okay. I should know that stuff because we were supposed to like know that in nursing. Because that definitely came up, but they didn't ask too many questions about it. So I didn't really study that hard.
To
It
what
can
your
be.
priest just said, yeah, judgment is not a bad thing, but and again, too much of anything is a bad thing.
Right, like it can be. Like it can
Over
cause you to
over
miss out on good things.
Yeah, over judging the crap out of people is like now you're missing out on good people because you're judging the minute details about them. Whereas if you put a microscope onto yourself, you're not perfect.
Right.
You know.
We all do it. Like we all judge because judgment is a. Do people tell you that you give great feedback, Clement?
Yeah, you judge enough people, then yeah, you're gonna give good feedback. Now you're watching every single little detail, but it's not a good thing. It's definitely not a good thing um, to cultivate good, like long lasting relationships.
Like
But
we all
now,
do it to a point anyway.
what's that?
We all do it because that is a cognitive function.
Yeah,
And it's fed by perception. But
you know,
sometimes people jump to a judgment based only on perception. When if you're gonna judge, then you judge rightly. See, a lot of people quote the Bible and they say, "Thou shalt not judge," and you stop there. No, lest ye judge rightly. That's the right way to say it. Yeah,
Finish that
that's
quote,
the
B.
whole thing. So, like if I judge, is this a dangerous situation? Is this person, um, Jane? Is this person dangerous for my situation? Like, is this type of person here? Is it going to trigger a part of my past? Like, I probably shouldn't go to all white parties that's hosted by a bunch of dope boys because I used to be a dope boy. Because what's going to end up happening is I get around them and I'll get to reminiscing on that lifestyle, then get into a conversation with, my dude. And next thing you know, I'm back on when you just should have stayed away from it. Now, am I judging them because they're dope boys? No, I know me. You know what I'm saying? And I know what's good for me, and that ain't good. I know most of them, and that ain't good. Like, nah. So we all judge, but trying to look at somebody that she ain't shit. You don't know that. How you know?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know she ain't shit? She could be the most loyal person. You don't know. She could be loyal. She could be kind, but that's because you're perceiving. You're perceiving without questioning, and you're judging. Like, I could put on a white lab coat and a stethoscope around my neck and walk into the grocery store real quick and tell somebody, I think you got a little jaundice going on there. If you ever been treated for hepatitis?
Palms look a little yellow.
I've been feeling kind of sick lately. I don't. I mean, you think
you sit down real quick? Here's a cup of water.
I'm like, yeah, here go the card to my doctor. Because I'm not a doctor. I just like wearing this shit. What? Nah. But see, you thought I was a doctor because I look like a doctor, but nah. Today I want to identify. Wait.
What? My guy.
Oh my God. Today I want to identify as a doctor. So I figured out where it is today.
But going back to what you were asking though, yeah, it was funny because after talking to her, and reflecting on that about myself, I realized that when I was younger, especially since like coming from Africa to here, I've always spoke this way. So I never really had an African accent. I never had I guess, American accent. I just kind of spoke this way.
You sound American to me.
Yeah, I'm like American, but not slang. So coming here, yeah.
Ever. Not in private, ever.
That's wonderful.
If I put him on the other end, you will not know he's white. I mean, black.
But when you're a kid and you speak that way around other black people and they don't accept you for that, you internalize that. And then you immediately start judging outwardly before they could judge you, like what happened when you were younger. That's what's clicked to me. That's why I was judging her so harshly for like nothing.
I think Chris said something like that.
Did I give good feedback? Yeah, no, I did.
No. She said something about how we judge.
Yeah, we typically judge others on the things we judge ourselves on. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was it was very eye-opening, and it definitely helped a lot just because it's freeing to know that something as negative as that, and you don't even realize how much you're doing just because it's subconscious. And I guess that was expectations that I was placing on people and judgment that I was placing on people that didn't need to be there. So that's what I learned from that. But let's go to this video and judge this person real quick. All right. All right. If you guys could do me a favor and we are going to do a judgment. All right. Fair use. Actually, he says we could do reactions, so it's okay.
Okay, so
I reached out to him.
Right, but Okay. So the situation is what? You want him back?
I want to maintain a good friendship with him.
You weren't friends. You weren't friends. You known this guy for a month. You're putting all kind of importance on somebody that you met in January.
But I just feel like we have a good connection.
Well, that's what you feel. He wanted it. Okay, if you feel like you have a good connection, then why didn't you want to take it to the physical level?
Why I didn't?
Why didn't you? Yes.
Because I want to take things slow.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's all about what you want. See how selfish this is? I want to take it slow. I want you to be on my terms according to my thing. And then when he breaks it off, you still want something that's not there. It's very selfish.
But how about if he leaves me after
Well, then buy a cat, buy a dog, and die alone. Relationships are risks. I don't know what you ladies expect. You want guarantees. What if you don't like him and you break his heart? You expect him to just be all right with that, right?
I wouldn't.
Doesn't matter. No, of course, because women are always the innocent ones. But at a 52% divorce rate, 70 to 80% of breakups.
Thoughts?
Well, I mean, he makes good sense, but
The selfish portion.
good sense too.
The selfish portion. I saw both of your face twinge a little bit. What did you think of that? The fact that he's saying she's selfish.
I don't know if I agree with that, because I mean, if when he said physical, I'm assuming sexual.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm assuming.
So, like a quick run up. She's been dating this guy for about 2 months. They've been hanging out for a lot of times. 2 months, yeah. So they've been hanging out a lot. And it was 1 month.
Yeah, 1 month. Yeah.
Okay, 1 month. Leading up to Valentine's Day, and he planned this whole thing for Valentine's Day. And he still didn't get any action. So after that, he just kind of fell off and stopped talking to her.
Okay.
And that's where we're at now.
Well, she did good.
She did good.
Yeah, the nigga didn't want nothing but some booty.
I said Kevin triggers me.
Yeah. Okay.
He is.
Let me ask you: do you find any validity in some of the things that he says, or is it just all no?
It don't be necessarily that I disagree with him. I disagree with his delivery.
His delivery is fucking rough.
Yeah.
I'm for real, bro. It's like somebody show up to you and be like, well, I was coming to you because I've really been having thoughts of suicide. How selfish are you? So you got 3 kids and you just gonna kill your fucking self? You know what? Just kill your damn self then. Yeah. Don't talk about it no more. Just go do it. Just go do it. Sir, you're not gonna come on here.
I think that's I get what you're saying when you're trying to make that comparison, but I think that's a bit harsh of a comparison. Just because
he told a woman that she is built like a man running back. You can hit the hell out that A gap. You built like you are 5'8", 220. You are bigger than 2 Pro Bowl Hall of Fame running backs, ma'am.
And then just on this video in general, to call her selfish, she's being cautious. Mm-hmm. She's like, I. But the whole thing is me and her, I also. That man was on the other side doing the exact same thing. And his decision with his eyes was to walk away.
I wanted this. I wanted that.
I didn't get it. I'm gone.
Japri says, the message is what matters, though. His delivery is direct. It's not for everyone. But most people in this day and age have to be talked out way. Wait, what?
I think she meant talk to that way.
talk
Yeah.
to that way because
Yeah.
that's the only way they know how to respond.
I mean,
I'm very direct, and I don't have to speak to people that way. So I don't agree. His directness is offensive.
Example was when Monique, the actor, in her most softest delivery about bonnets, their response from the community was just outright wrong.
I didn't see the video or the response.
no, I heard about it. I did.
Yeah, yeah, because
They
she
let her
went
have
on.
it.
Yeah, yeah, she went on and she was saying like predominantly like black women like it's crazy because I'm going out to like airports and I'm seeing you guys there in bonnets and slippers and like pajamas. Do you guys not take pride in how you're carrying yourself?
So I guess she lost weight and she just can tell people how to come out the house.
Well, I think even when she was bigger, she wasn't coming out in a
I
bonnet.
mean, but some people can say that you fat as fuck, so you don't care about yourself.
Yeah, I mean that's she never said the weight. She said how they're
No, she
portraying
is fat.
themselves. She's actually slimmed down.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
would,
She's
I would still
super big,
consider
but she
her
done lost weight,
big.
and so now
Yeah.
she done lost weight. She feel like I've improved my appearance, so now I can speak on other people's appearance. That's not her business.
Mm.
Mind your
So
business.
so then no one should ever critique anyone that is
She should critique the people that she know. You don't got no business be telling these people how to come out the house because ain't nobody told you how to come out the house. That's what I'm saying. If I'm
so
a
all right.
critique
So
somebody, I'm gonna
here's
critique
where
people
I
that
see
I'm
that though.
with.
Here's where I see it though, because that's a very. Do you not think as Black people we have an image to uphold?
No,
No, we just individuals. We
I
should
am an
act,
individual.
we should
Most
all just
people,
act as individuals.
I act as an individual.
Okay.
I'm not a we person. I can't speak as a we. I can't speak as Black people. I can only speak for myself. Now, if you
Okay.
look at me and you judge Black people based off me, that's a you thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking at a white person and judging all white people off this white person. So
Okay.
I don't look at a Black person and judge all Black people off that one Black person.
Agreed.
I judge you off of you, and I carry myself the way I want to be presented. And you
Okay.
can take it or leave it. You can judge me for everybody or just for myself. You can do whatever you want to do with it. It has nothing to do with me.
Mm.
And I'm not about to blanket Black people either or anybody else.
Okay.
I will typically critique people I fuck with.
That's what I'm saying.
Like if it's a young Black kid that's in my immediate community, I might not fuck with him, but I see him and I'll be like, "Hey, young man, come here, let me holler at you. Hey, pull them pants up. Why you doing that? Why you trying to be like everybody else you see around you? Why don't you be better than them? Why don't you set a new standard? Be a leader."
And it would have to be something in that person that make you want to do that. You wouldn't just
Yeah,
do it
like
to
if
every
I don't
person.
see, yeah, like if I don't see, like this is a straight up knucklehead, and I don't see nothing but violence and evil in this kid, nah,
Not worth it.
nah, because he got
Okay.
other shit that needs to be fixed on him besides them pants, and that's a whole job, and I'm just not up for the task at this moment right now. Or just like I made the TikTok video, this young man who was tatted up, fit the very stereotype that police like to shoot. Tatted up Black male over 6 feet tall, braided up hair. That's the one that scares them the most. This guy out here, one of the best. He works full time at Toyota, and he details cars on the side. And the dude that owned the store we was at said, "This guy's the best. I don't let nobody touch my truck but him." And he eating out there in them streets, and he got his own little entrepreneur thing going on. But he looks like somebody.
He looks like the stereotype.
Yeah, he looked like he ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah. I believe that if she wanted something different and the guy wanted something different, once she figured out what she wanted is not what he wanted, she should just move on and still not hold on.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
I think that what she wanted was a friendship. That's why she was trying. Like he had
I think-
asked, like, "Why are you trying to hold? Why didn't you go to the next level? And why are you still trying to hold?" I think she probably just saw a friendship in him.
Nah, I
But
think she
that's
read
not what
that
he
book
saw.
about keeping the cookie in the cookie jar, and dude wasn't having that shit.
Yeah.
And then she wanted to be friends after that. And dude was like, "Man, miss me with that
I ain't
bullshit.
having
Girl,
it.
you
I
know
don't
I
want to
want
be
to
in
hit them
cookie jar.
skins. You ain't trying to fuck nothing. I'm on. I'm on to the next one, work. Period."
Yes, the message is what's important.
The message is very important. It is.
People can't evolve, Even if she lost weight, that doesn't matter. That's exactly how she said it. She said it like a nurturing grandmother would say.
And she still got hammered.
Yeah.
She got hammered. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of people
and nurturing
nowadays don't
grandmother
want to
Even
hear.
by the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club actually went after her as well.
I mean,
Charlamagne.
nobody wants to in social media world wants to hear anything that is positive. Like anything, they don't want to hear it from like you. Like if they fuck with you and they know you, you can tell them privately, but they don't want to hear anybody that provides advice that was unsolicited. Like they just don't want to hear it.
When people evolve, we believe that they shouldn't have anything to say. We start looking at their past.
That's how it is on social media. Like, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm so glad I've never been like that. Because some of the people ask me, man, you know a lot about a lot of different things because I talk a lot and I listen a lot. Like I talk to people who know more shit than I do about specific shit. And I learn and I listen to what they say. I just spend a lot of time with old men with gray hair, and they would tell me all kinds of shit. And I would just sit there and soak it all up. They told me how to figure out if a motherfucking woman's selfish, how to figure out if you can trust her ass or not. I mean, they used to tell me all kinds of stuff, not just sit back and take it all in. Like, I mean, plus they was funny. Man, my granddaddy had me on this porch down there with his friends, man. They would have me cracking the hell up. I sit down there all day, and I'm like a young man, 13, 14 years old. I didn't want to go nowhere else but my granddaddy's house and sit there and talk to him. And he had me busting up. I always listen to other people because that's how you find out. Like, you remember that little business thing I was teaching you about? I was telling you about. Do you know that people go and pay thousands of dollars for those seminars? I learned that by listening to a millionaire. He's a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. So why the fuck would I not listen to him? I'm not a millionaire yet. Like, he's been where I've got to go. So that's crazy to me. That's to me. Now, if he wants to tell me this shit, I didn't ask him for it, but I bet you I'll take it. I promise you that. I will take it. I put that in my little pipe and I end up passing along to you.
Which I appreciate. Especially women. We can't say anything about black women in particular. The army is coming for you. Lol. But I do somewhat agree with you, D. Do you prefer D or Danielle?
I don't have a preference. Whatever you want to call me is fine. I
swear you got a Detroit accent.
I'm from Detroit.
I know I heard my cousins talk enough to where, I forgot. I didn't know you was from Detroit. For some reason, I thought you was from New Jersey.
No.
Everybody else is from New Jersey. Racist ass. He always getting somebody from New Jersey. Just racist.
I'm judgmental. I just told you that. That's what you expect.
I don't think it's that you can't say anything about black women. I don't think you should be saying anything about black women's appearance publicly. That's not the type of critiquing that we need. A bonnet,
that could be taken the wrong way too.
Like, it could be
by
something
everybody else because they could feel like you're trying to throw it under the bus in front of. You know what I'm saying? Like they can feel like you trying to throw the whole black community, black women, under.
We are the most sensitive about our hair.
Oh my mama!
And anything that goes on your hair.
Oh my
Lord. That is not something you need to be speaking publicly about. On my Facebook page, I have addressed black women. And the people that came to watch my video completely agree with what I say. You can definitely critique black women or have something to say about. Yes, you saying she sounded like a nurturing grandma, and I don't agree. I ain't even seen the video, but if everybody came for her, I don't think she could have sounded like that because my grandma ain't about to critique no strangers. My grandma gonna critique her grandkids, her grandkids' friends, the neighborhood kids, like he was saying. She ain't about to just be on the loudspeaker addressing the whole everybody.
Them bunnies need to stop.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a little bit more of this video, and then we'll come back to you, Danielle. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Are initiated by women. Ma'am, the man said he liked you.
Yes.
And he dated you for a month.
Yes.
How long before you were intending to have sex with him? He's 30 years old. He's not a virgin. Ballpark it for me.
Maybe 2 months in.
Did you tell him that?
No, but I told him I had bad experiences with men in the past.
Well, there you go. Ding, 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 ding. Making a man in your present pay for stuff in your past equals no future.
But it is part of
Your problem.
It's like a trauma, right? So
Okay, due respect, your problem. The world doesn't owe you and me understanding.
Well,
John, I saw you agreeing there.
yeah, I agree with that. Because you cannot. I had a fucking terrible experience with a woman who triggered bad. I'm talking about she called me this dude name. She got so triggered. I'm like, she was crazy as a Bessie bug. Like, she wasn't crazy, but you could tell that. Anyway, I told her, you ain't ready to date nobody else. She apologized and everything. But she had been through so much in the past, she was about to punish my ass, boy. She was about to send me down through there, buddy. I'm talking about she was blaming me for shit I ain't have absolutely shit to do with. Like nothing. Like she really needed to seek therapy, professional therapy. So, like, I get it, you know.
Let's see. Hold on. We got Tu Madre. I would have associated with her more on a respectful level if she was making these criticisms, if she wasn't doing this wearing a bathrobe. The people on my block saw my bonnet wearing ass, but millions saw her ass in a damn bathrobe, so who should be more embarrassed?
Talking about Monique.
Girlfriend, she was in a bathrobe.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, what?
A little shaming is okay, like back in the day, though, no?
Oh, we used to shame the hell out of people back in the day.
Oops. A little throw under the bus is okay sometimes. A little tough love.
Only person I
Shout
want
out to the in-law suite.
What's up, in-law suite?
If you don't love me, that ain't no tough love.
Ooh, okay. Your priest coming back, firing back.
Oh,
What
shots
is her
fired.
wearing What is her wearing a bathrobe? That's not even.
If that's even what she had on, she had what?
What is her wearing a bathrobe if that's even what she had on? At all have to do with anything?
She was in public because she was putting the video out to the world. That's the public.
Oh, we got Nicole and Crystal up in here.
The one true. There she is. Where
She's
you
ready
at,
for an
Crystal?
argument. She's ready.
Where you at, Crystal? Let me stop messing with Crystal before she say something. She gonna get me.
All right.
Right now, we are broadcasting. I'm in my office. You are in your living room. He is whatever room in his house he in. But we in the public because we are broadcasting to the world. That is the public.
To the world.
That is the public.
Yeah.
And then not only we just regular people, she is a public figure. So she is in the public even when she in her backyard. That's why people can take pictures of her from 1,000 miles away and zoom up on her and post it without her permission. So she is forever in the public. There is no privacy for her.
Yeah, and the thing about it is you can't do nothing about it because anything in the public's eye, they can videotape it, take a picture of it, and it's a First Amendment protected act. If you don't want to experience that, you got money, Better build a tunnel to your car, get in it in the drain, and you better conduct yourself accordingly. Paparazzi is real.
That bathrobe, she talking about people being presentable, but was not presentable. So that's what the bathrobe have to do with it. You can't talk about somebody's appearance when yours ain't on par.
See, I wasn't familiar with the bathrobe thing.
Yeah,
But
I ain't
I
never seen
do
the video.
agree with hypocrisy. I don't. If you're gonna be a hypocrite, you can't
All right.
be a drug addict and talk about somebody doing drugs.
That's fair. That's fair. But we're gonna move past that to the next question. At a certain point, can a parent prioritize being a friend to their child?
When they grown,
Right.
not before then. Absolutely fucking not. No, not before they're grown. No, I'm not your damn friend. We ain't peers. We ain't on the same level, nigga. I'm in charge. Period. Point blank. End of all discussions. I have to account for you.
Yep.
So when
Raising
they're
a
full,
child is easy. It's hell. You make it hard as the parent.
Oh, okay.
Based on the decisions that you make. Unless you got a special needs child, and it's different. I ain't talking about that. We're assuming a typically developing child. So, because that's hard. I don't give a damn. That's like extra hard. That's like a fear.
so I've always heard that, like, well, I mean, obviously my mom always says this, but no matter how old you are, you're always gonna be my son.
Well, she
You're always
means
gonna,
that lovingly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, at some point, do you take off like the parental like guidelines, I guess, and just kind of
Hell
like,
no. Nigga, I'm always gonna be your dad. No, no.
that's what I'm saying.
No.
At some point, can you just say, okay, I'm not a parent, I'm just gonna be their friend? That's the idea behind this question.
Oh, I mean, I thought,
That's what I'm saying. At a
I
certain
would
point,
relax
can a
some
parent
shit.
prioritize being a friend? Prioritize being a friend.
After they're an adult, because you already set your
Yeah.
standard as a parent. You don't have to keep on drilling it into them once they're an adult.
Right.
You have a certain
Done.
respect. I have a certain respect for my mother. But at this point, we are trying to build a different relationship that is more of a friend relationship, not a I'm your mother relationship. She don't have to
Right.
do that anymore. But
Right.
if I ever step out of line while we are building this friendship, then she about to check my ass and put me back behind that line of
You're still my
I'm
daughter.
your mama.
Yeah.
Right.
You
This-
went too far.
There's an underlying line
Like
of
it's stuff
respect.
I talk to my son about now since he's 18 that I wouldn't talk to him about. Which, well, we talk about it now. I was teaching him about it when he was 12. But now we discuss it. You understand what I'm saying?
Real quick. I want to get to some of these comments because they're starting to roll in. Snuggles, shout out to you, Snuggles.
What up, Snuggles?
Always got some crazy questions, Snuggles.
I be liking those questions.
Yeah, Snuggles has some good questions. You could barely see if she had a robe or not. It could have been a blouse or whatever it was. But once again, can we not focus on the person? Can we focus on the message?
No.
No, if you're going to criticize me, then do better. Don't try to shame me because your money cover. Don't try to shame me because your money
Can't cover your shame.
can't cover your shame. Okay. So if somebody says anything to you, they have to be perfect.
You can't have the problem that you trying to correct with me.
They don't have to be perfect, but they can't have the same problem. Like you can't be in the same dynamic. Like I can be an alcoholic who dress well, and as long as I'm not talking about alcoholism, then I can talk about somebody who's coming out looking any kind of way.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Just John, I'm not a friend to my kids.
Hell no.
Tell them.
Nah, bro.
Raising a child is easy. Good to know. I'm gonna sit back and wait for easy part to kick in.
Right.
It is. It's easy, bro. I ain't gonna lie, but you gonna notice this and watch this. Watch this. Is it easier for a man, Crystal? Kids respond different to men, but it's the other shit that's hard for us. That because I don't respond good to them. Which that's why you need mama. You understand? So like they'll listen to what I tell them, but when they start to work my nerves, and it's not that they being bad. They're not being bad. They just doing shit that kids do. Yeah. I'm like, God damn, where your mama at right now? Like, I really want to escape. Like, I want to go into my fake virtual reality and get away from y'all right now. Like, man, where your mama at? That patience, man. That's when it's like, I don't know, hard.
I think as an adult, you should prioritize being a friend unless they come to you seeking a parent in that moment.
There you go. Because they jump in and see kid when you get past a certain age, and I swear I'm gonna write a training program. But it takes a very long time to write those programs, especially when you're trying to be research based and you're not wanting to give personal opinion too much, maybe like in the hint section. A child goes through developmental stages, go all the way up into 20. Well, they go all the way up into death, but the ones I focus on all the way up into 25, 26 years old. And then there's a section I'm going to have parenting over 25, because your prefrontal cortex is still developing at 25. And that's your inhibition system. That's when you still making stupid ass decisions. Like you make stupid, especially little boys. Little girls, they made all them dumbass decisions at 19. 19 is their key number. That's when they get hot in the ass and they just really don't give a damn. They don't want no boyfriend. They just trying to explore their options. And if they get a body count, it happens at 19. If they get a good sized body count at 19 is when it happens. Then they realize I'm a little on the whorish side. Let me fade back a little bit. And then they calm down. They spend more time with their girlfriends, 21, 22. And then they start being available to guys around 23, 24. And, 25, a lot of them done got married or something like that. But boys, nigga, we ignorant at 25. We still running from commitment. Won't want to be married. No, none of that. And it's just different. So you come to mom and daddy. Hey, I'm broke. Okay, now you're my child. See how that works? See, the fact that you're 25 doesn't make you an adult. The fact that you broke makes you a child. It makes sense? Because see, if you was a man, you wouldn't be broke. You live here. Like, what the fuck? How did you end up broke? You made bad financial decisions. So now
I feel like my mother
John
will always be my mother. She might be my best friend, but I know I will never step over the line and be disrespectful. Yes.
I seen your mom. My dad used to step over the line. I don't think you'll like stepping over that line too much. I think
tu madre. I disagree. You can be a parent and a friend, and your children should be able to tell the difference and adjust themselves.
That is the biggest misnomer.
Hold on. We have to be their best friend because they need to be able to come to you at any age without fear.
And that's absolutely wrong. You cannot be. That's confusing. When you try to be friends with your children, that breaks the line of. That's just like saying your boss and you can be best friends, but then when you have to punish them, you have to fire that employee. Then how do you think they feel? They feel like you betrayed them, like you broke trust. That is a real big no-no. That when I do teach parenting classes, when I get parents who think that's okay, I tell them, you do what you want to do, but you're not going to like the total outcome, because in this child's mind, whether they can articulate this to you or not, you broke trust with them or you're not disciplining them. One of the two are not going on, because you can't do both. You can't be a friend and be friendly, and there's no switching back and forth. They should just know they are children. Children are born into this world not knowing a thing. They know what you teach them. And if you teach them that you are going to be inconsistent, flip flap back. That's how you open the door for the manipulation. And you think they being 100 with you when they become teenagers, and you get all these damn surprises. Surprise, I'm pregnant. Surprise, I'm in jail. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Because they know you're not going to react a certain way. They get that. So they don't have no fear of trying this. No, you can't be a friend. You cannot be friends raising children. That's a big no-no. That's a big no-no. Plus, it also builds improper attachments. And you end up with a child who they don't mind telling you they broke, but they broke. Why? Because there's no repercussion. Mama gonna understand. Yeah, mama gonna understand. Ma, you know you've been my age before, right, girl? Girl, yeah, I have been your age before. I'm gonna give it to you. So then you keep giving, you get on a fixed income, and your child still don't get it. Still don't get they just don't get it. And now you can't help them like you used to. Man, mama, I get, okay, all right. But you did an injustice to this child when you should have been firm and said, no, you have to learn how to manage your money. That's what I'm saying.
It's always more difficult for the primary parent, whoever that is. Danielle, do you have anything to throw into what we're going over right now? Parenting, prioritizing parenting, friendship with your child.
I'm friendly to my kids. I'm not their friend. I'm their mama. I'm actually the authoritarian parent in my household because my husband is so passive. If my kids did something, they would probably go to their dad, be like, Dad, this is what I did. And he would patch it up if he could. And then he would tell me about it later on. Like, so this is what happened.
Interesting. What's the difference between being a friend and a parent? Respect?
Respect and boundaries.
My mom could tell me anything about her life when I was a kid. And but I couldn't reciprocate that because I can get in trouble talking to her.
What do you mean?
If I told my mama something that she ain't like, you can get in trouble for that. But with your friends, you can't get in trouble.
That's true.
Right.
What's the difference between a parent and a friend?
It goes beyond respect.
The authority.
It goes over into not only the authority figure, the boundaries. There are boundaries, like what she was just saying. There are boundaries that shall not be crossed. There are boundaries. Your friends don't really have boundaries.
Crystal just asked a good question, which is a question that we answered earlier.
What's that?
So no respect and boundaries for your friends. Well, actually, that's not really.
No, your friends do get respect, and you definitely need boundaries because then I gotta.
Yeah, no, we went over judgment. That's different. Yeah.
No, we have boundaries. Yeah, there are boundaries with your friends, but the boundaries with my friends are way different
than my mama.
Yeah.
To speak on that, though,
yeah, they are different.
Because John, you and I had this conversation before.
Mm-hmm.
The days of wait till your father gets home. Isn't that reinforcing that every single time a dad walks in the house is going to be
I never
something?
would do it.
Yeah.
They can't wait till I got home.
Because it's like if something bad happened right there and then, it has to be addressed right there and then. If you wait all the way till the father gets home, that kid is going to forget about it.
I raised my children.
All he remembers is
I raised my children like I trained my dogs. If I didn't catch them, if I didn't know about it, if it didn't happen when I was there, I did not come in and do shit. I kissed on them babies, picked them up, played with them, hugged on them. They mom in there crying. I said, you gonna get this parenting shit sooner or later. Why you wanna whoop them? Same reason your ass won't whoop them. They ain't finna think I'm the devil every time I come home. They something finna happen. The only was one time that I did feel bad about it because I watched they badasses wake up and they were stacked. There was 3 of them. They stacked in the window from the fucking smallest to the tallest in line. All you could see was heads. The baby on the bottom poking out, my son, and then his older sister. And they was watching me pull off on that motorcycle. I was like, oh, you're going to give her hell. I went there work an hour. She's like, come home right now. So I come home and they got it. But I caught them in the act because they didn't know I was coming home. I cut the bike off and let it coast down into the driveway and just came in through the garage and they was wide open. Full, but I walked around the corner and the baby just started crying. Oh, she just started crying. She ran in the other room and shut the damn door and locked them out. So I got their asses first. I had to negotiate with Riri. She was tough. I had to negotiate with her to get her to open the door first. And she had all kinds of demands. You gonna whoop me? I said, nah, babe, I ain't gonna whoop you. You gonna kiss me? I said, yeah, I'm gonna kiss you. Nah, you're not gonna kiss me. You know she been bad, but she was two. Yeah, she was two. She was too little badass. She ain't getting no whooping for real. She got.
Yeah. No, as a matter of fact, I do argue with my bosses if I disagree with them. There's no switching. I believe something and I stand my ground, and I've never had a problem with that with my kids.
You're not gonna have the problem. It's not a problem that you see right now. It's a problem that you see later on. How old are your kids?
Yeah, I guess that is gonna be a good question. Does that create resentment for your parents if they can disrespect you, but you can't disrespect them?
Not about disrespect. Respect is a two-way street. You respect them, and they respect you back.
I'm a new parent, but some books and classes from my mentor. Being a parent is a part of friendship. The child needs to feel liked.
Mm-hmm.
How many of us actually felt like our parents liked us?
I felt like my mama loved me.
Yeah.
But when you talk about friendship, we're throwing the term around loosely. Then we're not talking about the same type of friendship. Like there's being friendly to your children, and then there's being permissive and friends. Like, for instance, here's a good example. So you have a teenage daughter. Okay, if she's your friend, then when you and your homegirls are playing cards and drinking, you allow her to be a part of that. That's bad parenting. And if you're doing it, stop. Because that's a friendship. That's not, no. Because that means that this child is internalizing that they are on your same level. And it won't be long until they are not around you, because they know you might say no to that. But when they're not around you, they're going to engage in that same activity on their own with their friends. Like, this is how you get these little kids who like to drink and do all this little shit on the side over here, because they don't want to stay in the child's place. They want to be an adult. Like, they are ready. They want to grow up a lot faster. She ain't got no business. Y'all are talking about grown women stuff. She ain't got no business hearing all that. That's not your friend. She should be in the bed. Period.
My mother had me around her friends while she was drinking and stuff. But I wasn't no little kid. I was on my way to high school.
Yeah, you gotta like your kids. But like does not translate into you engaging in the same behaviors that I engage in. Doesn't work like that. You stay in the child's place. I'm gonna stay in my adult place, and I'll meet you when you 18 or better. That's how we get down. Yeah, I allow a child to be a child. I allow them to go to school, and I allow them to play and have carefree life before they have to worry about the same shit I had to worry about, which is the mortgage, the light bill, going to work. My boss, I can't stand his ass, but I have to stand his ass because this is how we pay our bills. Getting a damn vac. Let me shut up. Yeah, getting something stuck in me that I don't want stuck in me. Like, these are adult situations that a child does not have the emotional capacity to understand, does not have the mental capacity to process this stuff, and they should not have to worry about all this. Now, there are times where you should, as a parent, you focus on teaching and training. That's what you do. You teach and you train. Yeah, you have a beautiful relationship with your children, but that doesn't mean it's a friendship. It's just we have a great relationship. and they need to trust you. And trust me, I'm strict, but I spend a lot of times talking to my boys on the phone. Like if they don't know, if they hadn't heard from me, they gonna call me. And if I hadn't heard from them, I'm gonna call them, and they come to me for everything. Dad, what is this? Dad, what is that? Dad, what is Dad? They know they can talk to me about anything because I made that abundantly clear. But they know abundantly also clear that they are not my friend. Like we're not friends. They ask me about sex. They ask me what a blowjob is and what it feel like. And hell, I tell them. I was like, "Oh, you gonna love it. It's the most amazing damn thing since sliced bread." And they start laughing.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
But then I finished it up. You don't need to worry about all that. Worry about this.
Priest, there's definitely a difference between old school and new school parenting styles. I definitely tried to bridge the gaps that I needed from childhood in my interactions with my kids. I definitely feel like something similar is happened, just like John explained, because the kind of things I go through with our son is not nearly what my husband experienced with our son. He makes things seem so easy. All right, you guys are really flying in with the comments. I grew up in the era of because I said so, but I tried to break that mentality with my kids. I explained why I'm doing things and I built that trust and relationship with them. Bottom line is their friends know as much as they do, so who's best for them to go for advice or if they're in trouble?
Now, this is very nice. I'm glad we're having this dialogue because here's the thing. If you want your child, so what you're saying is you're friendly towards your children, but your parent, you are the parent. You're not necessarily friends with them. So you're using it, you're actually doing it. You have a good relationship with them, which is similar to how I parent. I was talking to my kids about when they were about 9 years old, we started talking about sex and exactly what occurs during sex and how babies are made and things of that nature. And I gave them a very solid class on this. And because what happens if you don't do that, if you wait too late to have that talk, their friends are going, that's who they're going to get advice from. Because at 13 and 14, their friends have a stronger hold over them than the parent does. Because at 13, they start to break away from you a little bit. 14, it gets a little stronger. And then 15, they don't really give a shit if you work late. They don't really care. Like, they don't even run. They don't really care. Like, when you come home, oh, hey, dad. It's kind of like that. So whatever their friend says, that's what they're going to believe. So if you hadn't established the law and told them, like, this is what it is, if I tell them you can get a girl pregnant by pulling out don't mean shit. Your seminal fluid has enough sperm cells in to get a girl pregnant. You don't need but one mighty soldier, and it's a wrap. In the egg, you catch that egg at the right time. Pulling out is not a thing. But if they home, man, I done been with 15 girls, my dude, and I'm telling you, I ain't got no babies, and I pull out all the time. If I didn't have that conversation with him yet, who the hell you think he gonna believe? And then when you telling you a grandfather, this your fault. What the hell was you waiting on? Well, I just felt like he was too young. No, you waited until you were out. You were basically obsolete as far as opinion goes. Because it hits a point to where you just a parent. Parents are supposed to say that.
I'll be back. I go get my charger.
Okay. All right, we'll fly through these comments a little bit, and I got a nice, pleasant surprise. Our episode's coming at Japrice. Our episode's coming out next Friday is for new parents. Definitely check them out. The in-law suites, right? In-law suites. They're actually on Instagram as well. Great channel. They're on Spotify. I actually listened to a couple of your stuff. I think I listened to last week. It was good stuff. Good stuff. Parents be their child's first bully. Lol at Japrice. Lol, tell him, Clement. Tell him, Clement. Mothers in particular be their child's first bully. Yes, I agree with that, Japrice. Mothers are the first bullies. Mothers are the first bullies. For any mother out there, to madre, all right? Mothers are the first bullies. To madre, yes, me too. I don't because I said so to my kids either. There's always a reason, and I have no issues telling her. Exactly. The idea is you don't let your children do things that will make you dislike them. There's more to it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them how old my kids are, Clement. She has
How
four
old are
kids. She has
How old
four
are they?
kids. Her kids. Well, my older brother is 30, all right, and I'm 29, and that's my mom.
You a lie?
Yeah, it dawned on me when she stated it that way. Tell them how old my kids are, Clement. What are you doing here? What are you doing? You're awake? Well, thanks for supporting, Mom. All right. Shout out to you for supporting me. Thanks.
That's how she say your name, Clement.
Clemens. I call her mother. I call her mother. I don't say mom or mommy. She's mother.
Well,
Do
well,
that.
she definitely don't treat you guys like like there's a line. Like she knows what that y'all know what that line is. Like I don't. I think she like we talked before. Like she know about there are boundaries.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like she's
Absolutely.
your
Yeah, there's
friend, but she's not like how I would think a person is referring to their friends. Because
no,
like
not at
I've
all.
seen some girls who were friends with their kids. Like it was terrible.
Lone Wolf, thanks for coming
Yo,
up, my
what's up,
man.
my
What's
man?
going on?
Hey, man, I'm just cooling, man. Just got off work, so I'm.
Oh, calling in,
Hey, man,
calling in.
gotta support the smaller channels out there. You know what I'm saying? So,
I
I
appreciate
was
it, man.
dope.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
topic today is frenemies, man. So, what have you heard so far? What are your thoughts?
Oh man, I just tuned in. Like, I'm not really sure. Oh, wait. I'm like the frenemies is kind of like a friend. Uh, that's a bit of a two-faced idiot, like that bit or no?
Yeah, that's
Is that
about
the
right.
term? Oh,
So,
like
something like that. Yeah.
oh the the fake
You know,
fans
let
in
me ask you
general,
this.
right?
Let me ask you this. I'll ask you
Yeah, sure.
this one question. Okay.
All
Does
right, sure. Go ahead.
toxicity need to exist for friends to grow apart?
Yo, that's a deep question, brother. That's a deep
Welcome to my
question.
panel, man.
Um, I mean, man, if I think about this is, oh man. Okay, so for friendships, there's like the toxicity have to like exist and stuff.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, for me and stuff, I guess like just the some form of like the drama, kind of like you, I mean, like kind of like it kind of like the bonds the friendship, and just the more together and stuff. I mean, it's like from what I experienced, I mean,
What do you
I
mean?
I don't know how to say it though, but oh man, I don't know how to say it, man. Oh man, it just
Sound
slipped
like
through
his
my
brain
head.
is exploding over there.
I know that. Question threw you for a loop,
This
huh?
is a tough question, man. Like, this is a tough question, man. So it's kind of like my thoughts are kind of everywhere and stuff. But like, okay, like the way I said and stuff, like, if I were to be true, like the honest and stuff, I mean, like the toxicity, kind of like I mean, I mean, like, oh man, oh my god, god,
Lone wolf, lone wolf,
yeah,
breathe.
yeah,
Grab a
yeah,
couple. Grab a cup of water. Right.
yeah. I just
This
That's
question is
just a
making me
hard question.
Well, he
hyperventilate.
answered that question like his life
Yeah.
was on the line. You hear me? Like, Clement,
Uh,
you threatened to kill this man or
I
something? Like,
mean,
It's just a deep
I thought it
question.
was a simple
I never
question,
thought of
right?
it, yo. I
it's
never thought
not
of
an
it.
easy question. It's not.
It's,
We all paused on it a little bit.
You guys got me nervous and shit, yo. But well, like for example, from my experience and stuff is,
it's all you could go off of. Go
I
off of
mean,
your
it's just
experience.
I mean, like it's just like as you like the grow apart and stuff from like the the from the high school to college and stuff. It's just like you don't really talk to them anymore, and the toxicity and stuff. Like I don't think it's worth it and stuff, and like the friendships and stuff. I mean, like just in my past and stuff. I had like the toxic, like the friends and stuff. Like I used to play basketball and stuff, and back in high school and stuff, and like those man, those freaking teammates of mine were freaking toxic. All they did was talk shit behind my back, and they're just the two-faced idiots. So I had to like the what I did and stuff is, I mean, I just cut them off and just, I just cut them off and to focus on myself. I stopped talking to them, and
Okay. So let me
but
throw this one question at you, and then we're gonna have to keep moving with the panel. Okay.
sure, yeah, go ahead.
Um, when cutting out your friends, do you ever make room for the fact that you might actually be the toxic friend?
I never think of that. Nah, nah, hell no, I don't think of that. Personally stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think of that actually. It's just like I mean, like it's just part of life, I mean, the friendships like they grow apart and stuff, and as we get like the older and stuff, we have to stay on our purpose.
No, I mean there are some people that have huge friend groups, and I think though that's possible because
Yeah,
those people do a little bit of self reflection and see where they could have either stepped up as a friend or where they're being taken advantage of. But if you never
yeah, for
self
sure.
reflect and you never say maybe I'm being a toxic friend, can you actually build healthy relationships and build healthy friendships? Because you're always going to hit a point where you feel okay, they're just not a good person anymore.
Wow, that's true right there. It like the way I said, like kind of like depends on the situation and stuff, But yeah, I mean, it's just like the way I say and stuff as you get, freaking, just older and older. The process of life, kind of like the changes and stuff. You gotta, you gotta study, the college and stuff, and get your degree, to support yourself with like the
Lone
jobs,
Wolf, Lone Wolf.
yeah, the
I'm
service
gonna
hours and etc. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like you're just waffling right now. I feel like you wanna say some stuff.
No, 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 I don't want to say anything, man.
He's like,
It's just
no,
a deep
no.
topic. It's just a deep topic, man. It's just like like man, I'm a very like just I'm a very calm person and stuff. Like but this question is kind of like just like it's actually going to just making me think a lot, like
Okay.
harshly and stuff. So
All right. Listen, man. Thanks for coming up. I'm gonna
yeah,
put
for
you
sure,
back in the back panel. Obviously,
for
stay
sure.
in.
Yeah,
Really glad you're tuning in.
of course, man.
Chatting the panel with other people. Stick around. All right.
Bet, for sure.
Thanks.
My guy
Okay.
said 22 times in 2 minutes. I
You
just
gonna say
started counting because he said it so much. I was just like, I'm just about to
That
start
that
counting.
question though, that question got him. That question is gonna be harder for a younger person. Because
yeah,
I'm
you guys,
noticing
you
that
guys,
this
you guys
newer
breeze through
generation
that a
does
little
not go
easier.
through introspection at all. Like it's either I feel like we moving. It's like the newer generation, like they focus so much on what it's like social media gives most people their own opinion. So, like, if
Okay.
you are consistent with that opinion, when I ask you something that you have to answer, it puts you on the blast because that's not a question that you can find the answer to on social media.
Mm.
Japrice,
Priest, you muted.
Hi.
what's going on?
Hey,
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
hey.
How are
What's
you?
going on? What we talking? What we talking, Japrice?
Pretty.
You got
I'm
smoke?
pretty well. How about you? Oh, yeah. The question was
Oh,
that the next question about the
does
friends?
No, we passed
does
it.
toxicity need to exist for friends to grow apart? No, that was the original question that I started with. But go for
Oh,
it.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Take a
I
crack at
guess.
it.
I believe it's definitely a good reason, for friends to grow apart. Like, for example, I had like a so-called best friend that was best friend for like 15 years.
Okay.
Um, and she was type of friend that we both were the type of friend that kind of like fed into each other's negativity. Like we were pretty much like the yes person of each other. If there was something that she was doing wrong, I know it was wrong. I'll be like, girl, yeah, do that. Tell him that, or tell your boss this. Yeah, you need to quit. Yeah, yeah. But in my head, I know it was wrong. So, but once I started evolving, I started actually growing up and started to become older, and then I got married. All this stuff, I changed, and some of the things that she would come to me about, I would tell her the honest truth. Like, no, this is not right. Like, no, you shouldn't quit your job because you feel like, some little small reason, because quit your job, how are you going to pay your rent? What's your plan B, stuff like that. And she would hate that. She would really hate that. She would wish that I was still as I was in high school. So I believe there's a little bit of like toxicity going on. And then after I had my child, it was just something that was bothering me. Like, she would come to me with her problems, and I get it. I'm the friend, but I'm not going to tell you anything just to stroke your ego, or just to, give you the validation that you're right when you're actually wrong. So we stopped being friends. I believe that we grew apart. Sucks. I do miss her. I do think about her from time to time, but we just do not talk. We had one little
But
argument.
that was an example of a toxicity being in the relationship. But does it always need to be there for two people to grow apart? Like, does there always
No,
need to be some level of misunderstanding for two people to just grow apart?
no. So that was one example. I had another friend that we just went two separate ways. She started doing something different. I started doing something different. She was also a best friend too. And I said that to say, like, it's two different situations. And in this situation, I believe that it needed to exist, and it didn't exist. We just, I don't know, grew apart and stopped talking. And she went her way, I went my way.
How many best friends you done had?
Just two. I don't have any friends after that. Literally.
Any questions to Japrice? Japrice, you had a lot to say on the parenting. How are you liking your new parenting life since you are still a new parent? Congrats, by the way.
Thank you. It's kind of, so I really never taken care of a baby. I never done anything, honestly. So this is kind of like all new to me, and I really wasn't how do you call it, like, shown, or no one really told me anything. So it's very challenging, so to speak. It's very challenging, and
Is the baby sleeping by themselves?
Like it. Is baby sleeping by himself? No, he's in the bed with us.
What's your parenting book say about that?
Huh?
What's your parenting book say about that?
They all are for co-sleeping.
What? That's some good books right there.
That's a terrible book. That's dangerous. Like, co-sleep is dangerous. I swear it's dangerous.
You can roll over the kid, can't you?
No, there's a safe way to co-sleep, and then there's also, this these risks. But there's definitely I'm a very light sleeper, and as a mother, once you have that child, your mother instincts just pop in, and I believe it does happen. But you just know that child, D, back me up. You just have that.
You're absolutely correct. You absolutely. I went to parenting classes because I too did not have. We didn't have no kids in our family. And so before I had my kid, I went to parenting class, not because I wanted them. It was just we was broke. And so I was going to these classes because they would help us get items that we needed. And so I learned all the stuff that they taught you and everything. And so I had my baby and I breastfed, and I had the little bassinet or whatever next to the bed. And I was trying to put him back into the bed and everything. And I put him back in the bassinet and I went to sleep. My husband rolled back on me, and I stiff-armed him so hard, I almost pushed him off the bed. My husband at the time was almost 400 pounds, okay? And normally when I push on him, it makes no difference to his body. Listen, this man woke all up out his sleep and definitely moved. I pushed him so fucking hard. I don't know where, and I was asleep. I was asleep.
I can I can smell when my husband moves. Like, don't
I
you
woke
know?
up and
Like
my
I
sleep
can
heart comes
just
so hard. My baby wasn't even in the bed. My baby wasn't even in the bed. I had put him back in the bassinet. At that point, I said, I don't need that bassinet. My baby stayed in the bed with me till he was 3 years old, almost. He got out the bed because my new baby came, and it wasn't enough room for two
that's
babies
with
and
us
me and my
too.
husband.
Like, yeah, we're like about expecting again. So I'm just kind of like, what am I gonna do? It's hard in these streets for a mom. I don't know.
Congratulations, you're expecting
I'm
again. Your baby's only one.
yeah, he's one.
Ooh, good luck,
He
baby
just I don't
girl.
know what I'm gonna do.
My babies was 2.5 years apart. I couldn't have done it that close.
Freeze, you pregnant?
We were playing. Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, once your belly get really, really big, you'll probably be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And after that next baby come, you're gonna have to make a choice between the babies. Both babies, you and your husband, not gonna be able to fit. But until that next baby actually get here, that baby still gonna probably be in the bed.
So let me ask you this: why do babies need why?
Why
Like,
what?
why put them in the bed?
Well, my baby was there because I breastfed. Why am I about to be waking up and rolling over to reach into this bassinet to grab my baby, and then have to wait till my baby is done to go back to sleep to put my baby back in the bassinet? Now I'm not getting no rest.
Right.
If I don't get rest, I'm cranky. You don't want that. So once I learned that I knew how to protect my baby in the bed, because if I felt my baby was there, I couldn't even go into a deep sleep like that because I had to mind my body and my husband's body for my baby. Once I learned that I could do that, and then I learned that my baby, once he get done eating, he's gonna just fall off to sleep. He's not gonna drown because the titty stopped leaking. It was no reason for me to be uncomfortable. No, go ahead, take that little tip nipple.
Yeah,
I'm about to go back to sleep while you feeding, and when you get done, you gonna put yourself to sleep too. We gonna all get our rest and wake up refreshed the next day. We all happy.
How old is your baby that slept in the bed with you now?
Me?
Yeah.
My babies are 8, 5, and 2. All
Which
of them
one is
sleep in
8?
my bed.
All of them slept in the bed?
All of them. They all breastfed. All slept in the bed. My first baby slept in the bed the longest. And like I said, he slept in the bed until my second baby was born. But the other babies after that, the second and third baby, at 1 year old, they got out the bed. I wasn't as attached to the second and third baby.
Okay. And do the other ones that did not sleep in the ones that all of them slept in the bed?
All of them.
And did you ever experience like how was it when they had to go to school and stuff like that, and they had to be away from you? How was it?
My first 2 are in school. My first one, he was ready for school because he is social. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so they don't really get to socialize.
Mm-hmm.
So when it was time for them to socialize, they was like out the door. My 5-year-old, this is his first year. He was ready. He used to cry when my second baby would go to school because they were so close. This is all they had. So now he off at school. My last baby, he don't cry when his siblings leave. He just be at home chilling with me, and I'm expecting him to go on off and be about his merry way just like the other 2 was.
I think how you're looking at it, John, is a myth, because it's proven that when children co-sleep, it reduces like anxiety, and it reduces like a lot of stuff. Actually, like a lot of people think that, oh, he's gonna be so hip to you and all this stuff.
That's what she just said.
Yeah, some studies have shown that co-sleeping can reduce the chances of the child having anxiety, trust, and attachment issues.
I was fearful because I was so affectionate with my kids, and we were so close because my kids they are super affectionate with me. And so I was worried. But then my oldest, he went to go be with my mother. And my mom was like, he's not that affectionate with me. I was like, he not. I was happy because I just was nervous that this be so affectionate. He would just be that way. But he was not. He know when to turn it on and when to turn it off on his own naturally. And I don't know.
We just never did it. Never happened. We would breast pump, and then I would get up because it's easier for me to get up. I let her sleep, and I will feed the baby the breast bottle, and then
That's
we'll
nice.
hang out for a little bit. And then when he started getting like his eyes start falling asleep on that bottle, I go
Mhm.
lay him back in his bed in his room, and I go back to bed, and we'll turn on the baby monitor. And so, if he'll cry like every 2 hours.
So
So
how was
I
her
was
breath when she woke up though?
Clement,
Yes.
She hated breast pumping.
can I
She
ask
couldn't
you the
stand hurt.
question?
No, I mean like overnight because like that baby is hungry, so my breast is accustomed to
She
that
would leak.
baby.
She
It,
would leak.
they had to be hard and like be so sore. Like, why would I go through all that? Just take this titty now.
Yep. But yeah,
Sure, Japrice, what's going on?
Um,
I'll
I know
answer it to the
that
best of my ability.
you don't have any children, right? So, like in the future, when you get married and
Hmm.
you have your children,
Hmm.
hearing what we are saying and hearing also what John is saying,
Hmm.
what like would you? Not that you wouldn't take our advice, but hearing what we're saying, what do you
Hmm.
think that you would go for?
Whatever his wife said.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was actually going to say whatever my wife and I come to an agreement on.
yeah.
Me personally, I wouldn't trust myself. I move a lot when I sleep. So I wouldn't trust having a baby near me when I sleep. I'd much rather use a bath than that.
Mhm.
So
Well,
I
I say that
move.
to say because at first I was, yeah.
Say it,
you
you
what?
cut off.
Oh, I'm sorry. I kind of think I pushed a new button. I said that to say because it was my husband's idea to that we should co-sleep because I was trying my hardest to put the baby in the bassinet because the same thing that John was kind of like looking at it like, oh, co-sleeping, what about this, what about that? And a lot of like people in that age group, like our mothers and which would be like John's age, they were like look down on that, like
Hmm.
co-sleeping and breastfeeding, all that stuff. And so
Hmm.
but it wasn't until my husband was like, no, we should do it this way.
I
I
mean,
think
I
it's because
like,
of like his culture, maybe.
I like, if you guys, if it's working for you guys, it's fine. But I think you got other characteristics. The reason it's work is other things that you do that's making it work. I always live by this one rule, right? I try to treat my kids like I want to be treated. And I don't want you to give me something and I fall in love with it, and then you take it away from me, right? So if it's something I'm gonna have to, so pacifiers. My kids never had pacifiers because they serve no purpose at all. Milk does not come out of them, and this when we start getting into reactivity. So reactivity and self soothing is a very big aspect with my young kids. I want them to feel comfortable in their own skin and have a lot of and experience gain a lot of comfort through autonomy, and not so much they feel like one of the parents have to be to their beck and call. So they never had pacifiers. They were bottle broke by 10 months, 11 months old because they have teeth. So if they have teeth, that's like God's way of telling me they can chew food. And you know where your mouth is because he can put the food in his mouth. So it means he can put a cup in his mouth. And then people say, well, you can't carry a cup around. You shouldn't be walking around with some shit to drink all day anyway, because now you're on a schedule. You eat and it goes to like, that's why my kids were all slim, healthy, play outside, all these things, because that's the way I was taught to do it. And that's the way it was done to me. And then so I kept in that norm, and then it made sense with the research that I read and all these other things when I got in developmental psychology. But there were mixed emotions. Like some people agree, some researchers say that it's not good. Some people say it is. None of them agree with pacifiers. All of them say pacifiers were not good. Even didn't matter if they were good for because the child needs to learn how to self-soothe. The child needs to start to develop patience and wait for their schedule to hit and receive a snack instead of when they start getting snacks in between feedings. So, and it teaches them a level of discipline, and so they don't have bad unhealthy eating habits. Because you can get a child who just eats too much. They eat healthy stuff, but you can too much of anything is still bad. You know what I mean?
So I got a question from your mom. So at which point during teaching and training are you teaching self-reliance and independence and getting to the point where you can trust them to make the right decision in your absence?
The whole time, as they're from babies, like I was just talking about. From babies, as soon as they come home from the hospital, they're starting to they show me that they can be left alone in the room when they start at first, like the first few nights, they'll cry. They can't smell you, they can't see you, so they're gonna be upset. But he'll cry himself to sleep. When you cut off all the lights, the serotonin kicks in, they go to sleep. And then as they prove themselves, a child is just look at a child is like this. When a child is inside the womb, it's protected by three layers. You got the sac, the amniotic fluid, and then you got the external skin. Like this baby is protected. So, but as this baby matures, then the baby comes out and it can experience life and it can breathe. So the same time when when your children, you giving them enough room so that they can show you that they matured and they're ready to go to the next level, then you allow that you bring down the size of the baby bed. So when the baby shows you he can sleep in the middle and not roll left and right. You can lower the sides. You can and come from the crib and get into like just a toddler bed where they can actually get up and come out the room when the child knows when you know that that child is maturing. So their whole life they get more when they show me maturity. And if I have to go back and teach a phase, then I go back and teach a phase. That's why I said like it's just not that hard. It's just not that difficult. I focus on the teaching. I don't. That's the part I focus on. I've always focused on the teaching, giving them opportunity to show me what you know. See, I let mom handle that, the nurturing and the old baby putt putt. Me, I focus on this, that, and the third. And if I need the discipline, on my discipline. That's it.
Danielle, do you have anything to add before we go on to the last question? I think we have, yeah. Actually, no. I think there's two more questions. Two more questions. Yeah.
I agree that my babies come home autonomous to a point because since I breastfed, the doctor tell you that your kids will let you know when they're hungry, and so in my mind that meant that they know about themselves, and I'm not actually teaching. What I'm doing is learning. I'm learning my child,
Their
and I'm
habits.
learning what my child is saying he needed, and so I responded to what that baby needed.
And see, that's why that's why what we're learning here together is the importance of the roles in the family of man and woman. Because a man is going to see it one way and a woman's going to see it another way. And a
Yeah.
mother will always respond to that child needs until she's dead.
Yeah,
And that's just a man won't. I'm telling you, we won't. Mm-mm.
In
I
response to
taught
the
your ass
sleeping.
how to do it. Do it yourself. What you need, baby. Don't tell your daddy. I mean, it'll be like that. It'll be like that. Even to this day, my mom, I could test her out and be like, Mom, I need to borrow $200. For what? You don't need no $200. All right. Cause what you need it for? She's like, she just can't. I could just be playing. She'll say no, then she'll ask, and then she might say no again. And then when she see me, I ain't got two, but I'll give you 100. Don't be asking me for no more money. Or I'm like, I was just joking. I don't need any money. They always gonna be like that. But dad, he different.
That's where the guidelines come from. It's where the
That's what a
borders.
teacher. But see, that's the job. Listen, the man is supposed to teach even the girls about life. This is how it is. This is what you're gonna experience. And mom is gonna be there when dad's either too abrasive, too impatient, or something. That's where dad's gonna step in. I mean, where mom's gonna step in, and then but she doesn't undercut dad. She reinforces what dad is saying and say,
just
"Listen,
a
baby,
different way.
your daddy love you, okay, but he don't have the same patience mama got. What he was trying to tell you was the blah 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 blah. Oh, okay. And if the baby say something, if the child say something that uh to mom that where about dad. Mom's supposed to. No, this your dad. You're not gonna talk about your dad like that to me. He was right. He just didn't do it the right way. Okay, but you're not gonna disinstill your dad and not
That's what the
undercut.
dad do for me.
And that's what, and it's vice versa. What your mama say?
He have to
That's your mama.
he have to let them know, like she loves you. She's a bit rough, but she loves you. I said I think that's why God didn't give me no girls, because I'm not a soft mom. Even though I'm reactionary to my kids, I'm the nurturing mom of what you're speaking of until they can move around. Once you can move around, it's not that anymore. Once you can walk, you clean it up after yourself. I mean, you 1 year old and you clean it up.
Hell yeah.
If you can get that toy, you clean it up.
Boy,
no wonder those kids are ready to go.
Hey,
once I know that you can pick up that toy, I don't clean up the room, and I barely clean up the house. They have to do that. I vacuum after, but they clean up.
Hey, let me tell you something. At 2, you a dustpan holder. At 3, you a sweeper. When you 4, you can mop. When you 5, you can actually get chemicals because you can read. You know that's Clorox. Go get the Pine Sol. You can read. Oh, you can read, and you learn. See, the beautiful thing about having kids was my work became easier, and I had boys. So when we go out there and cut the grass, I was grooming him when I put him on that riding lawnmower with me. That was for a reason. I was teaching him how to cut the grass, and I let him drive, and it was fun. So when he turned 7, he was cutting grass. This boy's like, at 7, my son was already 5 foot tall, 5'1". Yeah, you cutting grass. You cutting grass, my boy. That baby don't, his grandmama, that baby don't need to be cutting no grass. What you mean he don't need, man, his kids in Africa hunting lions at 10. What you mean, boy, he can't cut grass? I said, what's wrong with y'all, bro? You raising these lazy ass men. Nah, he cutting the grass. You lazy. You should be out there. Oh, no, sir. I'm not fixing to sit. I'll be damned sitting here and watch
your time in.
Huh?
You put your time in already, right?
I put my time in. It's his turn. So he's going to cut that grass, all of it. Then he's going to rake up the loose, bag it up, put it by the road. We're going to do the whole 9. I help him do that.
Yeah, I remember.
I just didn't let him mess with the weed eater. Because the weed eater is the blade's too open. The string is way too open. And his reflexes aren't good enough. I think it'd be about 12 when you work the weed eater. I would weed eat, but
the weed whacker.
Grass. Yeah. And it's a rhyme lawnmower. I'm like, boy, this boy is nowhere near the blades. I had a push more at 5, pushing the backyard. She said, because
not even a good one. It's like you have to push it.
It wasn't even
not even the one that goes.
Like, boy, you have to push through that grass.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to push through, stall out, find a ball spot, crank it back up. Man, be out there all day. Everybody playing, you cutting grass. Mad as hell. Then you gotta rake the yard.
A whole Sunday.
Because you gotta rake it, you gotta bag it up or burn it. Now, how many young boys you seen cutting grass? I'll wait.
Keep waiting.
Exactly. Everybody hires other people to cut the grass.
That was very.
So what are the young boys cut the grass? But I want to hire somebody to cut our grass.
And what are the young boys working? Where they work ethic coming from?
My boy?
No, any boys in general. Like, it ain't just your boys, man. No, you don't see kids out playing no more. Kids on the Saturday, the town look like a ghost town. Mamas and daddy be at home in the house. The whole family is in the house, except in the hood. But that's where all your athletes at. Why? Because they outside playing. They don't want to be in the house. Ain't nothing in there fun. They want to be outside. They don't want to be in there fun. Nothing in there fun.
All right. So now I got a question. We're gonna move on to the next question, okay? For the panel. Should we always try to work past cheating?
Hell no. That's one of the hardest things in the world. I tried for the sake of the kids. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. That's me personally. I couldn't do it. My
Danielle?
ego was hurt. Mm-mm.
He's pondering that over there, huh?
Shit, Drake, Danielle about crazy. Boy, you crazy? But I'd be scared to death to even
Yeah,
tell
listen,
Danielle I
she's
cheated.
thinking. She's thinking. She's thinking about it.
I didn't tell Danielle I cheated on shit. I lied. It wasn't me.
Did you always? I think the word "always" is what's giving me the ponder. I don't like stuff.
Okay, could you work past cheating?
It
Should we
depends
try
on-
to work past cheating?
I would try. It depends on why he cheated. Why did you cheat on me?
Because shit. I didn't cheat. They lying on me. I did not.
Then I wouldn't be able
cheat
to work
on
past
you.
that. You're a liar. Like you already cheated.
All right,
Yeah.
so I got
Now
caught.
you gonna lie about cheating?
Give the respect at least of giving them an actual.
We
reason.
went.
I mean, because I'm at least trying right now. So if I'm gonna try, that's my whole thing. Like when I first met him,
Wait, hold on, John. Hold on, John. Let her finish.
when I first met him, that was my whole thing. Is I need honesty. I already come with trust issues without even having been in a relationship. My father left before I was 6 months. You know, I had a lot of trauma just within my family with my mother, my grandmother, her sisters, which are my aunts. You know, just a lot was going on in my family. So I need honesty. Whether I like what you're saying or not, tell me the truth, because then I can make an informed decision. And if you telling me the truth and I decide to stay, then at that point, whatever happens, I can't be mad at, because it was my choice to stay in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you lied to me,
yeah, you took all that away from you.
yeah. And it's just like I don't like that. I don't do that to me. So if I asked, I mean, I would need a reason, and it depends on his reason. If his reason was something that was truthful about me, like if it was like because you did X, Y, and Z, and I could see that was the truth about me, then maybe I could stay.
Nah, it ain't nothing to do with you.
I mean, it could be.
Nah, I mean, a lot of times if a dude cheat, it really ain't got nothing to do with the girl. We just say that.
I mean,
shit.
what if she's just not giving him enough sex, or she's just not giving him sex? So now he's gonna go out and look for it somewhere else.
That's too easy, Clement. What about nothing? She was giving me sex, but not a lot.
Out there like that though? Like, aren't there relationships out there where it's like,
man, that's some
marriages
shit.
though?
That's some shit men say, bruh. I mean, a lot of times we cheat just to fucking cheat because it happens. It was the stars aligned with somebody and for that moment, and then it was some flirting happened earlier that day, and then an availability came open, and she may have, got a little close, and you got excited, and she's sexy already, and you did it. You did it. It just happened. Like, then what?
How many times did it happen?
Only once.
How much time did you spend with her to even get to that point? Because is she really just a hoe like that y'all just slipped up and your dick fell in you? Or did you actually have to build a relationship with her to have sex?
Nah, man, she was flirting earlier that day, and she gave me a blowjob in the parking lot.
So you just met her this day and just fucked?
Yeah. Nah, we ain't fucked. She gave me a blowjob.
She gave you a blowjob.
She wanted to fuck, but I was like, nah, I don't want to fuck.
I don't know.
What? And by the time, like, she had done started, goddamn, and then when I was past the point of no return.
I don't know what I believe that you stopped at a blowjob.
Oh no, I stopped at a blowjob.
I mean, not you per se, but you are speaking, but who you are speaking as is my husband.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking your responses coming from him.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that you stopped at a blowjob.
Stopped there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to believe that. Once that nut get bust, you got a few more behind that. So I wouldn't believe that. So at that
But
point,
you would only believe it. You would only believe it as it was a one-time thing. Because I think we're
only a one-time thing. I don't know. I don't know.
I think where the hang up is, because like I would say a lot of times women will be more hurt that it was an emotional bond with that person as opposed to just a one night thing. You tell me.
I would be hurt by it all. I don't think
True.
anything would be more hurtful than the next.
True, but a paper cut
I'm just nosy.
a paper cut versus a cut with a knife is a big difference. That's what I'm saying. There's both cuts.
I dislike a paper cut more. I've cut
Man,
myself.
you use that analogy, man. A paper cut worse than the fucking knife cut.
Yeah,
it hurts worse.
Yeah,
a knife cut looks worse, but a paper cut hurts worse.
Okay, so I don't know. Maybe your paper cuts you tough like that. Okay, no.
Just throw some chapstick on it; it'll be fine.
I'm gonna try that next time.
I'm telling you, it works.
I'm just nosy, and I got to ask a lot of questions before I can decide what I would want to do. I mean, because
the questions don't stop. Take it from a person who's been cheated on, and we weren't married, but we might as well have been married.
Mm-hmm.
And you have fucking. That's why I couldn't get past it, because first of all, the sex, nigga, it was no more sex. I didn't have sex with her no more. Like
you can't even look at that person like it's
fuck no, bro. Like once I done been there and you go with somebody else, nigga, you kill my ego, bro. Like you kill my ego, bro. Like, and I'm holding it down. Like I'm doing all this shit. And then the reason you cheated was no reason. I could kind of accept it maybe if I cheated and you caught me and this is your way of getting back. You feel me?
So what's amazing is I was actually thinking about this when I went home. And so like So my husband, when he got with me, he had a lot of things that need to be fixed. And so I've helped him build himself up a lot to where he is right now. And a lot of times when a woman helps a man develop into a better man, that man leaves to go find another woman that can be impressed by him. Because the woman that's helped build him up is not impressed. Though I'm proud, I'm not impressed. And I think being impressed is important to a man. To be impressive to your woman is important. And I'm not impressed. I'm proud of you because I know where you came from and I see where you at and I appreciate your growth. I'm proud and appreciative, but I'm not impressed. And so if he was to cheat because he found a girl that he could be impressive to, I could not be mad at that. I would not stay if that was the reason, because I would never be impressed. So you would never get that from me. But I would be understanding.
And that he found something that he wanted in someone else that you could not give him.
Yes. And it's something that I could never give. I could never be impressed by you.
Because of because of the state that you guys started at.
Yes. And because you
a nigga impressing her was not a big on her list. Like it wasn't a big thing on her list to begin with. Right?
I've never been impressed. So it's not something I ever looked forward to.
Right.
But just being on these panels and hearing what men like, I just drove home thinking about that. And I was like, man, if that was to happen, I think it would happen because I'm not impressed. He can't impress me. Because you are where you are because I helped you get there.
I think do you tell him you proud of him though?
All the time. That's what I say. I'm very proud and appreciative.
There. That's it though. That's it right there. Not so much impress y'all. Like impress interprets to us as you're proud of us. See, we're gonna put the impressed in the motherfucker. We're gonna say my girl impressed with me, you feel me? But you say you proud of us, nigga, it's like I can't even explain it, bro. You would think you was talking to one of your children who just brought home a straight A report card, but that shit don't never change. We're grown ass men. We like elated.
Well, it's because we don't hear it.
For real, inside we like real.
Like, we don't hear that at all. Like we
At all.
rarely
Like
hear
nobody ever tells us this shit.
it, So
Like
it's,
nobody.
you're a man. You man up. You suck it up. You're
That's
supposed
how
to go
we.
out there and
Yeah.
just do it, and just do it because you have to, because you're a man.
Well, that's his
So,
love language. He like compliments, so he get at least a compliment a day from me.
I think, listen, most men like compliments. I mean, obviously, he's probably a little bit more just because that is his love language. But most men would love to be complimented.
He
Men.
get at least one a day from me. Once I
Not these
learned
little pretty fuck boys, but a man, like a man.
From someone who's doing what he needs to do.
A man who does what he needs to do, regardless of the circumstances. He doing what's right. And when you tell that man you proud of him, that shit go all over us. Like, I'm telling you, bro. Every time my old lady tell me she proud of me, man, she fuck around. I get, man, the grade be like through the roof. She been on me so hard this semester. I had to take a class over because it was killing me. I don't know. I'm just locked in. It's the highest grade I had in that fucking class in a minute.
Yeah.
All because she said, "Oh, I'm so proud of you." Shit, let me go look at this other video too. Make sure I keep this shit up. This is like a reinforce. I'm for real. It's like you want to fucking do this. Like, again, I've been doing finishing homework days ahead of time and every damn thing. All because he said, "I'm proud of you." That's all it took.
That's good. Being able to work past it is being able to trust that person again. How could you trust that person again after they cheated? In marriage, you're going to try, but can you trust that person again?
I'm with you on this one, in-law sweet boo. I'm telling you, if for me, the answer was no. I had too many questions. I kept fucking reliving it in my mind. And I'm like, and I remember when I sat there and tears ran down my face, like, you fucked our whole family up. She knew I was about to break up. Like, you fucked our whole family. She knew that this was not another talk to try to cope with it, to say that, hey, look, I'm going to forgive you. Nah, we can't stay another night in the same house. That's what came out my mouth next. I just couldn't. We can't do it.
I think being that we married and that we have these kids and that we built this life and that this is the first person I've ever had a relationship with. I've been with men, but this is my first relationship. I would at least have to try. I owe that to myself. I've learned so much about myself being in this relationship. Before I got with him, I was so selfish and I didn't even know I was selfish. I was so pissed off when I had my first kid and I was here. He came with a kid. And that kid was automatically my kid because the mother wasn't there. So when we moved in, I was a full-time mom and pregnant to have my first kid. So it was easy for me to have that role, even though I didn't know about being a mom because I had a good mom. But after being selfless for so long, I called my mom. I was like, man, mom, you did like a disservice to me because I'm the youngest and I'm the only girl. I said, you never taught me to care about nobody. Like you told I remember us standing in a circle and you literally told my brother, your job is to make sure she's okay. You have to care about what's happening with her. But she never looked at me and said, and it is your job to care about your brother. It was never it was never that. And so to be in that position, it was a lot. And so I learned a lot about love and relationships. And I know that when I make a decision, that it is not just my own. And I don't know that I want another man having to step into that role for my kids. I would have to try. It's nothing else I could say other than that. I don't know what would happen, but I would have to try for the sake of my kids and myself and my growth. I would have to try.
See, trying for me lasted about 2.5, 3 weeks. Now that third week, I just couldn't do it no more. Cause I had lost like so much. It's just different. I can't explain it. It's like once another man, it's like you damaged. It's like shit. It's like you
probably
damaged.
the best way to say it right here. Sometimes we don't care. Sometimes people consider him a help doing something we really don't care for anymore. Especially if you're at the point where cheating is a issue and you're repulsed. And I think that's where you're at, John. You were repulsed.
Yeah, I was repulsed. And I was not sexual. When I say we went from I couldn't lay in the bed with her, right? I couldn't lay in the bed with her without wanting to do something. Shit, I didn't even want to lay in the bed with her no more. I slept in the guest room. So we had a big house. And then it just got to where I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, they just sleep with someone on a random drunken night, I'm more likely to forgive. If you have been building a relationship with this person in secret, I probably won't forgive you.
Yeah, and she had been dating this nigga, like going out. Like that's how they got caught. They was out for a weekend. That's what really pissed me off.
Yeah.
I mean, we got
Yeah.
past it. Like I mean, when I say we got past it, I mean we share a child together. And that's when, she went to court, and because I told her I was gonna take Donovan with me, and she didn't believe me. And she went to court, and I represented myself, and I took Donovan with me, and he was with me ever since he was 4. So that was that.
I think the physical aspect is very hard for men to get past.
It is. Get fucks with your ego way too much.
It's a huge blow to the ego, and that's why it's like if a woman cheats on a man, I mean, it's. I mean, that guy kind of has to think a little lower of himself if he decides to stay. Not in a bad way, but like, I mean, I guess you can't really just say that's a good way, but he has to really be trying to look outside of himself hard for him to stay in that.
But I learned from it. Even though I couldn't stay in it, I learned from it. I learned that I could use the excuse and deflect my involvement in her cheating to, well, I was working, and because you gotta understand something, like those were the times she was with me when I was getting every fucking sales award possible, to include big ass check from Ford Motor Company for being the number 2 salesperson in all of the United States. So that's a lot of time in. And I learned that I have to have a healthy home life balance, work life balance. I did not have that. Yeah, I would take my off. Well, sometimes I would take my off days. It just depends. I started taking my off days with the next chick, and I learned how to be more of a balanced person. Now, am I saying that gave her the green light to cheat? Absolutely not. But I'm not going to say that
You still have
it did not
you still have
cause her to have. Everybody ain't built like that's if I'm gonna be in these serious relationships, I got to do a better job at picking women, and I got to make sure that you're not trying to get them into a situation that they're just not built for, and she just wasn't built for that. She was not built for that guy. You got some women, shit, boy. Let me get in there, champ. Let me go and let mama take care of you real quick and get you back in the fight. Then you got some women, well, fuck that. Our bills paid. I need you here with me. Fuck that. You ain't got to do all that. But she didn't communicate that to me. And to be honest, even if she would have communicated that to me, I probably wouldn't have did it. I mean, I like getting $12,000 checks every 2
You
weeks.
seem reasonable. I think you would have. I think
I
she
don't
would have
know.
to actually be able to express herself though, because my
She had to
husband
really be able to express herself.
Exactly. My husband was a worker like that, and I definitely had to let him know, like, that's not okay. Because when we first got together, when we was courting each other, he was letting me know, like, his last relationship, they cheated on each other, and he was like, and that's something I'm not going through. And when he said it, when he was explaining to me, like, cheating is a no for him, he was having a flashback talking to me, like, I saw the flashback.
Yeah.
And so when I got to a point where he wasn't giving me enough attention, I just had to let him know, like that's not okay.
Yeah.
Like don't mess up your home trying to build a better home. Like
Right.
your home is good. So appreciate this home before you lose it. And I don't have to cheat. I could just leave.
And see, I learned to get that balance. Never got no more sales awards. And The other one had
but your award is that your woman is telling you that she proud of you right now. Do that feel better than that sales award?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you are getting your award.
Yeah. And
You know, I think as guys we get because we're so work driven, we get very tunnel vision at
locked
some
in.
point.
I'm talking about locked in, nigga.
Yeah, like you don't.
I was locked the fuck in. When I tell you, I ain't never been locked in like that again in my whole life. Like I ain't never been so fucking focused.
The same girl that I was talking to before, she was saying that like as guys, sometimes we are very careless with our pursuits. We want things so bad, we don't care who we hurt or who gets hurt on the way for us to get it.
I swear.
We just know we want it.
Yep.
And that's what makes us hunters. That's how we build.
Yep.
But if it's not balanced well, that's how we hurt a lot of the people around us doing in those endeavors. So yeah, that's work home balance is the key to avoiding anything like cheating. And I mean, a lot of people say it happens. I still like to believe that there's the silent majority that really just want to live, a man and a woman, and want to chart their own path in life.
I mean, and that is true for the most part. That's true, especially when you had a guy who was real promiscuous when he was young, like he's supposed to be. He'll be like that.
He'll be like that. All right. Well, good talk with you, John. All right, good talk with you. So we're gonna move on to the last and final question of the night. All right, it's a pretty simple one. It's a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
Does a good friendship end?
No.
Why would it end?
No. Do friendships end at some point?
Some do, but not real ones. Be more specific. Because, I mean, like, we all done talked about like a friendship that ended. So, yeah, friendships end and a good friendship.
That's why I said this one is going to be a simple one because it's pretty self-explanatory. A good friendship wouldn't end.
No, I don't think a good friendship
for years. But the second you guys see each other, it's going to be like, you
never missed a beat.
Exactly.
Perfect example. Dr. Greg Alfred was my best friend growing up. I went off to the military. He went off to West Point. He went on later on and served as an officer in the military, but we were not crossing paths anymore. And it was some years before we talked to each other again. He came over for Christmas or something. We talked again after his dad passed, after 5 years of not talking. The other day, we hadn't talked in 4 years now. And I asked him for some, I sent him a simple message. And within seconds, he responded with 15 articles that I was looking for to help me with my dissertation. I mean, this is just like, I'm talking about, and he has a practice. He's a clinical psychologist. He's in Ohio. And I'm sure I was during the day. I'm sure he was probably seeing someone because he's very successful. And he stopped what he was doing and sent me what I needed. Took the time, found the articles I needed, and sent me like 15 of them. Like he filled my box up. I was like, thank you so much for this. And that was that. And I mean, but it's like I said before we even started the panel, I was like, man, when you friends, bro, you friends. Like,
yeah.
Sometimes as men, like we ain't got time for this dude to be all up my butt. You know what I'm saying? I got stuff I have to do. You know what I'm saying? I have to get that bag. And I have other stuff in life I have to do. He does too. He's married. He has a family. He has kids. So, when we were young and children, we had all day to be, yeah, you're going to spend the night. Yeah, I'm going to spend the night. And then you go to teenagers and y'all hanging out and you talking and seeing. But then shit starts to change, He went off to West Point. I probably wouldn't have been able to get into West Point. I know I would not have. He went off to West Point. I went to 15th Street on the corner. I mean, we started to go different ways, but we were still friends.
Yeah. So no.
Good friendship.
Yeah, good friendships don't end that way. All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a fantastic show. I'm your host, Clement. And let's go through the panel one last time. Hold on a second. Let's get this out of your face.
All right, aka John, Black Wall Street Trading. You can find me Black Wall Street Trading LLC on YouTube or John Cornelius 8770 on Instagram. Hit me up, follow me.
Danielle.
Yep, Danielle or D, whichever you like. You can find me on YouTube at A Sip of D, or on Instagram at Fly Nurse Mom Wife. Yeah, I always enjoy your panels.
Good.
I
I
really
try to-
always enjoy your panels. They are thought provoking. I never feel like they are bashing in one way or the other,
Yeah, I mean,
or
there's
blaming. It's good
I
feeling.
very much aim for that because we can only grow through understanding that everyone can be wrong, not just one side. Both sides can be wrong. So
Yeah.
it's about finding common ground and finding a common answer between both to say, all right, I was wrong here, you're wrong here. I'm sorry, let's keep moving forward. And that's the whole point of these. That should be the point of the panels. That should be honestly any panel. That should be the point. Is we're getting answers. We're coming together and trying to find a common ground, trying to find a common answer, so that we can all just live a happy life like we want to. And
I found a best friend.
Right.
And on that note, guys, thanks again for watching CKQ Podcast. I'm your host, Clement. This has been a great, amazing panel. I hope you found some value out of everything that we talked about today. Do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. We go live every week. For currently, it's going to be every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. until my schedule shifts around. And look out for some, lifestyle vlogs in there every now and then. Got some good ones coming up for you. But on that note,
I can't wait.
it has been fun, and you enjoy your night, people.